Welcome to another week of Manifest Mondays. This is episode 40.
hmm
That's crazy. That's honestly crazy, bro. 40 weeks straight. We 12 weeks
40
from a
weeks
year,
straight.
bro. We 12 weeks from a year. That's insane.
It's crazy.
Man. But for this week, we're talking about being a good person versus doing good business. Like, is it possible
hmm
to do both? Are they different? Are they separate? You know what I mean? How do you separate them and how do you link them? Um, Everything, from being a good businessman to being a good person, and seeing, if there's a way that you could do both, right? So let's kick it off, man. Let's jump right into it, man. Do you
Let's
think
jump right into it.
do you think a person can be um um and let's go extreme, right? Like let's go do you think a person could be an extremely successful businessman and extremely good person? Let's go extreme. Let's go extreme.
That's that. Why you gotta polarize it? Like, why does it
We're
gotta be
going
just so?
extreme, man.
Why
Out
you
the
gotta go
gate,
so
man.
extreme? Like, can someone be an extremely good businessman or woman and be an extremely good person at the same time? Yes. Short answer, yes, because I do think it depends on what you define as an extremely successful businessman or woman, right? Um, I think someone who has established their own business and yields, seven figures is extremely successful. Uh, and so I do think it's up to a point, though. I think when you start to get to a point of like, it sounds bad, but like too much wealth, then that's where I think the equation is skewed. Like, right? Like I think it's not that you're no longer a good person. It's just like you're more than likely having to make bad decisions. And I mean that from like a moral standpoint. Does that make you an innately bad person? No, but I think if you're talking about extremes here, to be an extremely good person and extremely wealthy, I think those things don't coexist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
So
kind of on
short
the.
answer, yes, but it depends up to a point. Up to a point.
If you in here, I want y'all to chime in too, man. The question is, can you be an extremely good person and an extremely wealthy slash great businessman? Can you be both at the same time, right? Um, and I definitely feel where you coming from on that, man. It's tough, right? Because we talk about this a lot, man. It's like after a certain point of wealth, you're just gonna be you're going to be making decisions that affect more people than yourself. It just has to, right? Like if you're a businessman and you're running a company, at some point you're controlling other people with how you're doing things, whether it's your customers, whether it's, the people that work for you, whether it's, what I mean, like the other business that's your competition. At some point you're gonna have to make decisions that just affect other people, right? And
Mhm.
then, even when you think about like politics, right? Like there's gonna be nobody that makes a decision that everybody in the world likes, period. So
Yeah.
as you become more wealthy, I feel like you naturally affect more people. You know what I mean? And I definitely feel like sometimes when you think about things that have to be done in good business practice, it isn't always the thing like aligned with the morals of like a good person,
hmm
right? So like when we start going extreme, I honestly personally don't think it's possible, man. I don't think you can be like extremely. Of course, there's I'll give you this. There's outliers with anything, right?
hmm
But I think for the most part, you cannot be extremely successful slash wealthy in business and be a good and be an extremely good person. I just don't think it's possible, man.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible, man. You posed the question before. if all billionaires are moral, right?
Hmm.
I could see the argument on both sides, but what do you say on that?
I don't think all billionaires are innately immoral. So we obviously looked it up. There's 2,700 billionaires in the world. That's actually a lot more than I thought. Granted, 2,700 out of like nearly 8 billion people is a very small number, of course. But still 2,700 billionaires. That's more than I expected. Um, Now, of those 2,700, I think probably 95% of them are probably immoral people. Like they're
2,600
probably
of
not
them.
they're not good people. They're not good people. Um, but like you said, I think there are outliers. Like I think there probably is a small percentage that not necessarily immoral, but they've made immoral decisions. And so that's where I think it depends on what you define as immoral, right? Like, if I make an immoral decision, does that make me an immoral person forever? Like because of one decision? I think it also depends on the severity of that decision, right? Like I think those are things to consider. But I don't think all billionaires are just innately immoral and bad people. Most of them, yes. But I think there is a small percentage of them who probably aren't immoral, but they've had to make immoral decisions. What
I feel that.
about you?
I definitely feel that. But like the more and more I think about the question, the more and more you think about like we talked about this, bro. How much $1 billion actually is, right?
Yeah.
And to me, when I like try to like conceptualize that $1 billion, bro. The reason that I like I don't I like I said it's probably similar to you. I think like most of them are right, and the reason is just because like to make that much money, at some point you have to care about money more than humanity.
Hmm.
Like you just do. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no possible way that you just you know what I mean? Like you care about humans more than you care about money, and you've made $1 billion. Like you know what I mean? Like there's just I honestly don't think it's possible. Like whether it's just outsourcing and underpaying like this part of your company or something like that, bro. I just don't. I honestly can't see anybody making $1 billion that didn't really like step on toes of other
Yeah,
people and just
agree.
kind of put money over humanity, bro.
Yeah,
I can't see it.
I agree.
Can't see it, man. And good, like sometimes good business practices just don't align with just I don't know, just being a good person. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like it
Yeah,
just doesn't. You know what I mean? Like certain things that you have to do in business just doesn't align with what I'm saying. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like at first I like when I first heard the question, I was thinking like no possible way. Like right, like anybody that's like putting anybody in a group is kind of like that's wild, right? Like
yeah,
all billionaires are immoral. That's wild. But when you start thinking about what it would actually take to make $1 billion, you start thinking about how do you have $1 billion? But like what what are you doing with $1 billion? Like you know what I'm saying?
yeah. That's a lot of money. Just like you said, to conceptualize that, a million seconds is 11.574 days. So under 2 weeks. A billion seconds is 11,574 days. To put that in perspective, that's 31.7 years.
So 11
That's
days
the
versus
difference.
31 years.
That's the difference between a million and a billion. And that's where I think a lot of people just can't conceptualize that because it is hard to conceptualize, right? Like we talked about this. If you spent $100,000 a day and never made a single dollar with $1 billion, it would take you over 27 years to spend all your money. And $100,000 a
Hundred
day
P's,
is a lot of money. That's a lot of
a
money
hundred
a
P's,
day.
man.
Imagine spending $100,000 a day. It would take you over 27 years to spend all of it. And so when you think about how vast like that amount of wealth is, and to think that I don't know, like people just are out here with that sum of money and whatnot, and there had to have been something shady, like that you had to do, some kind of you had to step on somebody's back, you had to uh, uh, put somebody out of business, right? Like you probably put a lot of other people out of business, and it's just yeah, like I don't know, it's tough, man, because there's people who are billionaires, right? Like that I'd like to think, like the LeBrons and the Jay-Z's and stuff like that, that are they immoral people? In my mind, I'd like to think that they're not immoral. I'd like to think that they have a moral compass, right? But I'm sure they've made decisions and have done things, that the public eye never will know. And I think that same can be said for probably all billionaires, right? Like they all have skeletons. Everyone has skeletons in
Yeah,
the closet. But
yeah,
I think billionaires specifically probably have a lot of skeletons in the closet because they've probably done a lot of shady stuff along the way. Like even if it was, I know a lot of LeBron's wealth comes from endorsements, right? Like a lot of athletes do, right? But would you would you deem LeBron immoral if he signed his shoe deal knowing that his shoes were going to be produced in sweatshops? Like, does that make him an immoral person? Like, I don't know, right? So it's it's just it's just it's hard, man. It's hard. That's a lot of damn money.
yeah.
That is a lot of money, and that's why they say if there was a trillionaire, they would own like a third of the world's wealth, which is wild to think. Like
That's insane.
that, there's no reason why. I don't think there will ever be a trillionaire, at least in our lifetime. Um, but that's crazy to think that with $1 trillion, you would own a third of the world's wealth. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I it when I think about that much money, it's hard for me to think about having it. Would not think about like how I would be spending it with other people and other concepts and other, you know what I mean? So like just thinking about sitting on that much money, bro, just sounds wild to me. The kind of the follow up question I got, if anybody's in here too, I want to see what y'all think too, man. Would you consider it immoral? Let's say in some way, let's say it's like crypto or like some way random, right? Where you didn't do anything necessarily immoral to get the billion, right? But let's say you got the $1 billion and didn't help anybody in the world at all. Not your mom, your brother, your sister, your friends, you know what I mean, the people around the block, the neighborhood. You didn't help anybody at all. Would you consider that immoral?
You ain't shit.
You got a billion
You,
dollars
you
and you
ain't
didn't do
shit.
anything for nobody, like nothing. Yeah.
That you ain't shit. If you got $1 billion liquid cash and didn't choose to help a single person on earth, like not even your parent, like your family,
Nobody,
like nobody, you
nobody.
ain't shit. You literally are not shit. Like I'm sorry, you ain't shit. That's crazy. That's crazy to even think about. I'll be wanting to help people. Nah, hell no. That's crazy. That's crazy. You ain't shit. That that I think that is an immoral decision. That is immoral because think about what you could do with $1 billion, right? How many people's lives you could affect and impact in a positive manner. And to think that you're just not going to do any of that, just keep all your money to yourself forever, bro, like that's wild. That's wild.
Yeah, that's weak, bro. I like what Moody said in here, man. You sorry
You
for that.
sorry.
If you if you are able to pull some shit off like that, it says a lot about your moral compass, man. I mean, it's like
Hmm.
to sit on that like that's like like you said, you could spend $100,000 a day and not miss it. You know what I mean? Like at all. So you could spend $100,000 a day for 10 years and not, you know what I mean, and have another 17 and be cool, chilling, like, you know what I'm saying. So I don't know, man. When you sit on that type of money without like thinking of humanity at all, it's kind of like, bro, you know you it even like even we kind of get into our day to day like runs. If you work from home, if you know what I'm saying, you take a weekend, you might not be outside. But you go outside sometimes, you just see, man, like it always reminds you that just like how like blessed you are just on your regular day to day. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Just seeing certain people outside that's like, man, it's 120 degrees outside. I know you don't want to be out here. You just don't have a choice. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? You just outside because you have to be. You know what I mean? There ain't no other choice for you. So when you just see that type of shit and it's just to be like, I don't know, have no connection to want to like put anybody at all into a better position with that much money is crazy to me, man. But I kind of want to even play the other side, right? Because so many people like pocket watch people with a lot of money, like they should be doing more when people that like is doing good don't do anything though. So I do
Hmm.
want to hit on that too. Is like, you know what I mean? Like there might be somebody that makes, I don't know, $60,000 a year, right? And they don't do nothing for their community at all, though. They don't do nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't help nobody. But they be like, yo, Kevin Hart should be he only donated 50,000 to the school, man. He should be doing way more than that. And it's like, but I just gotta hit on this side of like, if you're not doing nothing at all, then you can't like really tell people what they should be
Hmm.
doing when they got more money. Because I honestly believe in if if you do get more money, it's not like you're gonna be necessarily spending it differently. Maybe you will, but for most people, you're gonna spend it similarly, just bigger. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So if you make $60,000 at all, and you know, I feel like personally, if you make 60 to $100,000 a year and you live check to check, it's kind of because of you're choosing to, right? You're choosing to buy things that is making you be check to check, or like, you know, you chose a lifestyle that's like making you be check to check if you're in that range. And if you are and you're not giving anything at all, then it's hard for you to be like, well, they should be doing that. If I had that, I'd be doing this. If you're not doing nothing at all, then you can't really even
Hmm.
say that. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So I wanted to touch on that, man, because so many people be like, yo, if I had, you know what I'm saying, 10 million, I'd be doing way more than what they doing. And it's like, you can't really say that because you're not doing nothing at all. You got way more than somebody else in your same neighborhood and they doing more than you. So like, you know,
Yeah.
you can't really say that, man. So I just had to touch on that other side too, bro.
Yeah. I agree. People always want to point the finger, right? I think people have unrealistic expectations of others. People always expect, and yeah, I think people just always expect things of others that they wouldn't hold themselves to the same standard, right? And I think that's just unfair. Like to be saying that, oh, Kevin Hart needs to be doing this and that. It's just like, well, what are you doing? Like regardless. Now, I disagree with you in the sense that 60K in New York does not go very far.
But
So
at that point, you choosing to live in New York. That's kind of my
that's true.
point. It's
That's
like
true.
it's
Yeah, that's
choices.
true.
It's
Yeah.
choices, right? Like if you make 60K in New York and it was a remote job, you could move and live good, right? If it wasn't, then you could still move, and I guarantee you, if you could make anywhere between 60K, then you could probably make 50K in Arizona or
Yeah.
Texas. So you might not want to, and it might not be easy to do, but that's still a choice. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Agree. Agree. Yeah. But yeah, I do think that people always want to point the finger and always expect crazy things from others, but then don't do anything themselves. And it's unfortunate because when we talk about like helping others in your community, it's not like we're expecting you to like go and donate thousands of dollars. There's little things that like you could literally volunteer for free, right? Like you could volunteer for free, feed the homeless, and there's so many things that you can do, in your community and that don't require any kind of spending. Um, Now, if you want to go and donate $20 to this foundation and 30 to that, that's cool too. Whatever it is but as long as you're doing something, and I think that people who don't do shit always expect others to do shit, and that's the crazy
That's
thing. It's just like, well,
that's a good way to put it.
how are you just expecting? How are you expecting everybody else to do nothing, but you ain't doing shit? You know, right? And so I don't know. I think that is crazy. But I guess that leads me into my question. We were talking about this earlier, and we obviously went over the idea of just having that amount of money and kind of like where do you sit along the moral compass of things? Like, you know, how does the scale teeter at that point when you have that kind of abundance of wealth? Um, do you think money is the root of all evil?
Uh, nah, I don't think that I don't think that's the right way to put it, right? I think it I think it can amplify evil things for sure. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Money can amplify a lot of things in life. I feel like, you know what I mean. So if it is somebody with some evil ways, they can really get active with some bread.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if like like to play the other like the lack of it can make somebody do something too. You know what I mean? But I don't even know if that's at that point. It's not even just money. It's the lack of resource. It's just the lack of resources. It's the lack of being okay. If you can't eat, you can't. You know what I mean? You ain't got no shelter. You trying to feed your baby. You might do something that in
Hmm.
survival mode that it doesn't really align with your character. But
Yep.
you just like I need it now though. Like you know what I'm saying? I need it. I need it,
Yep.
man. And so sometimes it's sometimes it could be necessary to the lack of money. Um, but I think it's hard to be honest, it's hard to judge anybody fully. You can't really judge anybody correctly when they're in survival mode
Hmm.
because they're gonna do things that they just it might not align with what they but they just feel like they have to in that moment, right? They just
Yeah.
have to. You might not be a thief, but if you know ain't got no money and your kid is hungry and you know what I'm saying that there's a little shop right here that got food. Damn, you might just got to take that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I can't even be mad at you for doing it. Like it's like it's hard to judge somebody that's in survival mode, man.
Hmm.
I can't even say certain things they do is evil, man. But I honestly think it's not. The money's not the root of evil, man. But it can cause some for
Hmm.
sure.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I think it definitely amplifies and it brings out the best and worst in people. You know, right? Like, and I think it's even beyond money, like influence, right? Power, respect, all that stuff. You can abuse all of that, right? That it can be good. It can be used for good. It can be used for bad. Same thing with money. You know, just like they say, with great power comes great responsibility. It's the same thing with money, right? You know, like there's a lot of responsibility that comes with, you know, being a provider and all that stuff. And so, do I think money is the root of all evil? Nah. I think people are just evil, you know, and I think if you're an evil person, money's just going to heighten that. Now, you know, we talk about this all the time, right? The thing that money does, though, it does change the people around you, you
Fact.
know, and the expectations of them. And so I think that does innately change you, you know, like that does in turn change you, you know, because if when we step into our full potential of ourselves, right? And we've reached our full our the level of success that we want. Everyone that we know is going to have their hand out and expect something from us, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be money. They might just want backstage passes. They might want, you know, to um, call you on FaceTime just to prove that like they know you. Like yo, my homies don't believe me that, you know, like and all this stuff. It's just like, bro, like you know of me, like we know each other exists, but like you don't really know. And it's just that kind of like money, power, respect. It changes the people around you and like the expectations of you. And like you said, people who may not have as much, they expect this and that from you now. You know, especially people that you know. And so um, I think that's the reason why a lot of successful and wealthy people become cold because it's just like, how do I trust anybody, right? Because everybody wants something from me. And so looking at it from that aspect, I think people oftentimes, because broke is a mentality, right? I think broke people, they say that, oh, money is the root of all evil, because it's just like we don't have it. And so like, I think it's that I don't want to necessarily say reverse psychology, because that's not the word that I'm looking for. But it's just like when you don't have something and you don't know any better, right? You don't know what that life looks like. You only know what you know. But when you've accumulated some kind of wealth and resources and stuff like that, and you realize, man, I don't ever want to be broke. Why would anybody want to be broke, right? Like if I have the choice to be wealthy or broke, which option you choosing? I'm choosing wealthy every time, every time. And that's just, but that's also because that's the world that we live in, right? We have to have wealth and resources in order to thrive. Like we can't be in survival mode all the time. Like that's just not sustainable for anyone. That's crazy to in 2024 to be thinking that, like, yo, I got to be a hunter and gatherer. I got to go I got to go I got to go hunt some shit down in order to like feed myself and my family. Like that doesn't align with our society, right? So um long story short, I don't think money is the root of all evil. I do think that the idea of it and how it does influence certain people, and how people can abuse it, comes across as it being the source of all evil. But I don't think it's the source of all evil in our world. Um, I think in a lot of ways it's our society, right? I think capitalism is evil, but that's the world that we live in, and um, there's pros and cons to everything, right? Capitalism enables us to have the things that we have and the resources that we have to this day that a lot of people don't. But yeah, man, I don't to to agree with you. I don't think money is the root of all evil, but I think people can easily abuse it, though.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's I mean it's a tough concept too, right? Because you know, it's a lot of people like money is really just access. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
like I feel like a lot of times like to make a billion, like most of them think about concepts that's just like way bigger than just money, right? Like, like to make a certain type of money, you gotta like just be thinking of money as just like access to other things, right? Like,
Yeah,
like you're not even thinking about it like in spending terms. You're thinking about like your concept of money changes when you're just like, I need 2 million to accomplish this. It's just like it's not like it's just access to things. I think it's so crazy to change the mindset of like, all right, I want more money to have like the most comfortable lifestyle I could ever have versus I need more money to get this done. This
hmm,
idea that I've been working on done. I think a lot of those people that like do make a lot of money is like they have big ideas and a lot of money flows in and out. You know what I mean? And they're kind of like the money just almost just becomes like it's just it's not the specific like number. It's just like I just need this to get that. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, it's interesting because I think even the way that people view money is so different. It's hard to like when you're struggling to just like make ends meet, you think of money a lot differently than like somebody that know has everything they ever needed because they're
yeah,
not thinking about the things they need anymore. They're thinking about like what do I want to do? What do I
exactly.
want to get done? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
Because
yeah,
their basic needs are met. You're not
yeah,
in survival mode,
yeah.
and that brings up my question, my follow-up question in regards to that, because we touched on it earlier, right? That good business and morality don't always align, right? And so I think we can agree that most broke people have the mindset that money is evil. I think that's just like if you come from that background and that lifestyle, most people view money as evil. But I mean, to that point, if we're saying that like typically good business and morality don't always align, then on that other side of things, like, isn't there some validity to that though? Like if if being extremely wealthy and being a good person, like a good moral person, don't necessarily align, then doesn't that mean that money is kind of like evil, or is it more so just the person? Like, is the person evil and like money is just like a resource?
That's it, man. It's like people. It's a resource for them to do things they would have already done. I think if you give a good person money, they're probably gonna do good things with it. You know what I mean? And if you give a bad person money, they're going. You know what I'm saying? It's just.
Yeah,
I think it's just aligned with that. Like when you think about what money actually is, it's really just like little pieces of paper that we decided to give value.
yeah,
It doesn't
agreed.
really mean. And you know what I mean? If we say, all right, we're moving to crypto and nowhere accepts cash anymore, then what would a dollar even be? It'd just be a
Mhm.
little green piece of paper, right? So that doesn't, like you can't. I can't say that it's just evil. You know what I mean? But like what people choose to do with it, that's a completely different thing, man. And it's like, I I do think though, like when you talk about like business principles, like it doesn't align with just trying to make the people around you better. Sometimes we had a conversation one time when we were talking about like how if you knew something and somebody around you didn't know it, what would be the like advantage of like keeping it to yourself and not letting anybody know about it? Now there would have business advantages.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you might be like, okay, I want to make sure that they don't have any, they don't know what I know enough to get like, to take over what I got going. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So there is business advantages sometimes that like if you did do that, it wouldn't be the same as like just telling somebody because you want them to be better, man. So said
Mhm.
it's tough, man. D Jizzle,
It is tough.
What up, fellas?
what's good, baby?
Hey, sorry, man. I had to like take care of some stuff, man. I was looking at properties real quick, so
Hey,
that's why I'm late.
Man,
we businessman, man. We
hey,
get business done.
you a
Come on, man.
businessman, you know?
Yeah,
Ain't nothing to a boss, man.
yeah.
Ain't nothing to a boss.
So like, even though I'm running late, but I'm still, doing something productive, which is good. So yeah, man, it was dope. So
That's a fact.
That's dope.
I
How did the home searching go?
good, bro. Good, man. We saw a couple units that we were interested in. So
Uh,
later on, after this podcast, we're gonna like chat and talk about it, see what the next move. So
That's
Dope.
yeah.
fire, bro. Good shit, man.
Yeah, what's y'all talking about right now? Sorry, I'm about to just jump in like I'm all late.
You
Nah,
good?
we gonna put it right on YouTube, man. So speaking of buying properties, man, let's switch the topic a little bit, but on the same topic, man. Speaking of buying properties, man, what's your perspective straight into it, man, of gentrification? Let's get into it, man.
Oh
Is we've been talking about like is good business the same as being a good person? I kind of want to, if anybody's in here too, we want to know y'all perspective of like how do y'all feel about gentrification, man? The word kind of comes with some energy, right? But I want
right.
to see
hmm
what everybody on here kind of feels about that.
I mean, like, there's pros and cons with it, right? At the end of the day, if you look at it, right,
Yeah.
some of like I would just focus on like the pros, right? For example, like most of the time, let's say if you're like a bad neighborhood, whenever it's like the neighborhood is being gentrified, you see a lot of businesses booming that neighborhood. It's a lot more safer. So overall economic prosperity. However, the cons are like people who live in that neighborhood before are being kicked out.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have to move in a neighborhood that now is like infested with like all kinds of like drugs, crime,
hmm
and all that issue too. So it's kind of like I'm like it's one of those things, man, because I think it overall it benefit the economy, but at the same time it takes away too from like actually people and people who used to live there before. So it's
hmm
yeah, I know it's kind of hard for me because I say yeah, it create value, but at the same time it take away value as well.
Yeah.
Where you at with it?
Gentry,
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. It's a tough
Yeah,
one.
it's tough because there are pros and cons to everything, right? And I do see the pros and
right,
the cons in it. Like the pros, the fact. So my thing is, people always say when you leave the hood, you don't come back to the hood.
right,
And that's what we all everyone knows that people who grew up in the hood, you don't come back to the hood. Like and there's no money being reinvested back into
Right.
like our communities to uplift them and to make them better. So that's why gentrification happens,
Right.
because like a prime example of this is Nipsey Hussle. Look at what happened.
Right.
He was trying to stimulate his community, going out of his way to do. He was doing the exact opposite of what we know. Like people who come
Right.
from the hood don't ever go back to the hood. They go to the suburbs where the white people at, right? That's what you're taught to do when you become wealthy and you do better for
Right.
yourself. But look at what happened to Nipsey, right? Like, because jealousy and envy are a really big thing, and it's really
Right.
ugly. Like,
Right.
especially coming from people like a, a lot of people think, oh man, he ain't no better than me.
Right.
He grew up on the same block that I did. He ain't Nipsey Hussle.
Right.
He's man, he's a boy that just used to be down like that. Like that's and a lot of those times, those types of people are going to be jealous. They're going to be envious, and they feel like they deserve what you
Right.
have, and they're willing to do whatever to take it from you. Look at Nipsey Hussle was a prime example of that, and so it's hard to say, like is this a good or bad thing? Because as people of color, we know that our communities are mostly like poor stricken, right? Like
Right.
they're like a lot of our communities are knee deep in poverty,
Right.
right? Like there's all types of drugs and stuff like that that run our community. Now, obviously, that's the cards that we were dealt, right? Like it's been proven that the government has, put drugs in our areas in our communities to like intentionally hold us back and do things like it's very corrupt. There's a lot of corruption in the system, right?
Right.
But if we're not doing our part to go back into reinvesting into our communities and rebuilding them, then who's going to do it?
Right.
It's the people. It's the colonizers.
Right. Investors.
It's the colonizers who are going to do it. It's the investors who are going to come and be like, all right, well, let's take this
Right.
plot of land, like this 60 acres of land. We don't care who's there. We're going to
Right.
kick them out and we're going to rebuild it.
Right.
Like, I'm getting it a hell of a deal for it. I'm getting this 60 acres of land for this sum of money.
Right.
If I flip it in like 2 years
Right.
and do a complete overhaul and sell it for this amount, I'm winning. And obviously, I'm making this community safer. I'm making it,
Right.
I'm providing more resources and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I do see the pros in it. Obviously, I see the cons in it because
Right.
a lot of people are displaced from those communities, right? Like a lot of those people who have been there for years, sometimes decades. Like we're talking about generations of families who
Right.
have grown up in these projects and whatnot. But it's tough, man, because I don't know, like where do you
Right.
draw the line, right? Because like we want better. It's
Right.
it's that it's that it's that notion of wanting better, but are you going to do better, right? What are you?
Right.
It's always like I said, people are always pointing the finger,
Right.
but it's just like, well, what are you doing for your community?
Right.
And most people, when they get out of that community, they don't ever do anything to help
Right.
stimulate that
Right.
community again. So I don't know, man. It's tough.
Yeah, but I would say though, the benefit the benefit outweighs the negative in my opinion, right? Because at the end of the day, yeah, even though cause everything, man, it's gonna be like it's gonna be pros and cons for most things in life. However, I believe, right, because when it comes to gentrification in certain communities, if you look at it in a couple years to fast forward, you can just overall do the projection. Overall, that economy, that environment is better.
Yep,
Crime rate goes down. So overall, I think is create more value
agree.
even though there are people who are being kicked out. So for me, I just think it's over a net positive because the pros to me outweigh the cons a little bit. It's kind of like investment, right? Risk to reward, right?
Yeah,
It depends on the investment you're going to go in. If the risk is lower, if the reward is higher, I'm going to do that. If the reward is lower and the risk is higher, like I'm not doing that because I know it's more risky. So I think
yeah.
overall, in my opinion, I could be wrong. I think just overall, it's net positive for the environment or for the community.
You're entitled to your
Yeah,
opinion, and I agree
I'm
with
gonna
you.
say
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
I'm gonna say that's tough for me to agree with though,
yeah,
bro. I like I in the in it's only because who we are, right?
right,
Like when you said like those people that kind of get kicked out of those areas, they're usually us.
But my
You know what I'm saying?
quick question is, don't usually they provide, like, they buy them out of it, like they give them, like, usually I
Sometimes,
don't really,
but
Yeah.
sometimes people
right,
are like struggling. It's like sometimes they're just kind of like pushed out, or like
right,
there's instances where like let's say I'm in this house and there's somebody there and somebody there, right? Let's say them two sell, they
mm-hmm,
come in, they do a whole bunch of repairs, they do make it better, right? But now I can't
right,
afford my property taxes anymore.
Yeah.
right,
You know what I
Well,
mean? So
okay.
I'm almost forced out of my position. So what I'm saying is I don't necessarily disagree with what you're saying. I disagree with it's not even disagree. It's just like the thing is we're usually on the other side of it. Is
right,
what's the
Agree.
hard? That's the hard part for me to connect with. It's like we're in these neighborhoods that we can't really afford more than what we have. So they pushing us way out to take the culture that was built in these areas, wash it out, put a
right,
Starbucks where there was like a community center. You know what I mean? And it's like it washes out the culture. It pushes us out, and I guess it makes that specific area better.
right,
But where it pushes
right,
all of us is not good no more. It's just another. It's
right,
just
Yeah.
moving that
right,
area somewhere else.
right,
You
Agree.
know what I
Agree.
mean? So
It's
that's what I'm saying. Is like I I I agree with the concept of like that gentrification can be good. It's
right,
just in its current practice. I just
right.
can't, it's tough for me to say
yeah.
that. You know what I
No,
mean?
I mean,
yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
I agree with you. Like, I think it doesn't fix the
right,
problem; it just shifts it, right?
right,
It moves the problem
right,
elsewhere. But my question is then, like, okay, so like, let's say those communities stay there, and let's say though that community is not gentrified. What's going to happen to that community? Like, there's
right,
like crime rates aren't going to change.
right,
Like the educational system isn't going to change, right? Like, it's not like we're getting access to anything better. Like,
right,
and if we want better but aren't doing better for ourselves, then we're stuck in this vicious cycle of just like never improving.
right,
And so that's why I say I do agree with Diamond that to me, I think it is more of a net positive.
right,
I do understand that like it's typically us that's on the short end of the stick on
right,
that side of things.
right,
But if things just stay the way that they are, there's never going to be any change that happens.
true,
Because like I said, I don't think there's anyone in our communities who when they attain any kind of success and whatnot, they're reinvesting back into our communities. You don't see that happening enough. And so like I just don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I truly
Yeah.
don't because
right,
it's hard, right?
right,
But like it's if nothing changes, nothing changes,
right,
right? You know,
right,
not like everything just stays the same. And it's just black on black violence is at all time highs, right? Like it's
right,
not like that's going anywhere. So it's just like,
right,
yeah, it's us that's being displaced. But like, like in those same communities, we're the ones like our drug dealers are hurting our communities,
right,
right? Like we're the ones who are dealing drugs in our community. So we're
right,
hurting our community with that. We're also
right,
hurting our community by killing each other. Like that black on black violence is very real.
right,
When you look at like areas of dense population of minorities, like when and I'm talking about like major cities like the Chicagos, the New Yorks and stuff like that,
Philly, yeah,
the Phillies, the LAs and stuff like that. There is a lot of crime that happens in those communities,
a
right?
lot,
And so I don't know, man. It's just there is no solution at this
right,
current time, but I think I do see more positive
right,
in gentrification than bad
right,
because of that reason. Like if
right,
we were doing more for our community,
right,
then
right,
maybe that would change.
yeah,
But I just don't see there's not enough people who are taking that
right,
initiative to do better for us. And so
right,
I don't know, man.
That's the
no,
hard part too. Is
yeah,
right. Like there was a piece that I want to touch on what you were saying. See, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. Or I was
I don't know.
DZ, but what's it called? Even you know, like when we talk about black on black crime in certain areas, that's in like low income areas. Like
right,
Yeah.
rich black areas ain't like that.
Agree.
You know
right,
what I mean? So
Agree.
it's not just that it's a minority. It's like
poverty
it's a low income
stricken,
area.
yeah,
It's a
Yeah.
poverty stricken area where it doesn't matter poverty stricken areas whether it's Mexican, black, white. If
right,
it's poverty stricken areas, you're gonna get some violence. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's that
Yeah.
survival mode that we was talking about at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
the hard part is I start to think like we always talk about this. Like if we was like putting our heads together and thinking like solutions, right? If like let's say people like us, that we were starting to able to start getting um uh, getting properties and stuff like that.
Hmm.
If we did invest into the hood, like to these hood areas, would it still even raise the property value the same way as if they did it? That's a real
Mm-mm.
question, right? Like if like I don't know if like rich black people come into a place that's considered the hood in some place,
Right.
right? If we come in, do we
Mm.
still get the same?
Respect.
Does gentrification work the same way?
No,
You
no,
know?
hell no. And
You
I'll
see what
tell
I'm
you
saying?
why, because that population of people is still there. So like, yeah, I agree. Like that doesn't
Right.
um
Okay, I see your point.
gentrification doesn't work the same if if that same community stays there, right?
Right. You
It's
gotta
the
like remove.
it's the
Right.
displacement
Displacement.
of those people
Right.
that is what like changes that. Because just to your point, Pete, in those low income communities, in those poverty stricken communities, those are the ones that are suffering the most. Those are the ones where like crime is going to be at its highest and stuff like that. And so, um, in rich black neighborhoods, you don't see gentrification happening because
Right.
they're already wealthy communities,
Right.
right? And they have the resources. If you try and come and gentrify like some rich people, they're like, the fuck are you
Shit.
doing? Like
What?
we
Got some.
calling all of our attorneys and this shit is not happening. Like
Right.
we calling our attorneys, we calling like councilmen, like we're like, nah, we're gonna figure this out. But yeah, man, it's just I don't know, it's tough because in these communities, right? If wealthy black people were to come in and try and change these communities for the better, providing better housing, um, you gotta you gotta do a lot of things, right? You gotta like do a complete rehaul.
Right.
You gotta overhaul the educational system.
Fact.
You gotta do a complete. You gotta make sure the infrastructure is good, like everything. Like there's so many things that you have to go out of your way of to go above and beyond, right? And that's the burden that I think we bear as people of
Right.
color, right? Is
Right.
like we always have to go above and beyond just to be at the bare minimum level of our white counterparts.
Right.
Like that's just what we see, right? Just like you said, Pete, gentrification doesn't work the same way if we're black.
Right.
Like if we're black and going into a black community and trying to like uplift and rebuild the community, it's not going to be the same as if we just displace that entire community and just put white
Right.
people there. Like
Right.
it's going to be two completely different outcomes.
Right. It's,
But yeah,
no, it's true though, because you can't have Pookie and Ray Ray together and they're hoping that shit's gonna be stable. Nah, that ain't gonna function out. Hey, Pookie, you going over here. Ray Ray, you going over here. Because no, it's true though. Like Z said, he makes a valid point, bro. You have to like displace people because
Yeah.
you can really build that community again when everyone who used to live there still causes a problem. They're still there. Like
Yeah.
how you gotta
hmm
like remove people and like kind of like create a whole new plan. So like for
yeah,
five points, bro. I remember when I first came to Colorado, like I never used to go out there.
Yeah.
Now we can go out there for brunch. Is that good or bad to me? I was like, I feel safer now, right? Because
yeah,
if I'm sure that other people who was there now they feel some type of way about it. Oh, my grandfather used to live here. Now
For
we're not
sure.
here no more. So I
All
kind of
right.
like I could see both sides of the story, but just overall, man, I just think like just making the environment safer for me personally. Maybe I'm a little biased because I'm not personally affected by it, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe if I was affected by it, then maybe my stance might be a little different. But just
yeah.
overall, I think
Yeah,
being like the
if
biotech.
you went back to Liberia and the city you was from,
Right.
the city the city you was from just was like hella white and with all kind of Starbucks through there and you know what I'm saying and
Hey,
massage
what?
envies all through there. It would feel a little different, right? Like
Yeah, I would say, maybe, right? Maybe now, like, damn, this is not, like, this is my city now. It's a lot different. I don't know,
Yeah,
right? Maybe if I can afford it, maybe if I was richer, then I wouldn't have a problem. I can go anywhere I want, right? But if I was like poor, then it'd be like, damn, man, like it sucks, because we can't live here no more.
mhm,
Rent is so expensive here no more. We can't like afford the school system no more. Like you said, they're not
yeah,
fixing the problem. Now we have to move to a whole different
yeah,
community, And then that
Yeah.
whole group of people that once lived, they were all going to come together again. Then the crime, the drugs, and all that
Yeah.
going to increase again. So it's
Yeah.
like a never-ending.
It's just a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You
Yeah.
just shift blames. You just move it on the other side,
Yeah,
right?
it's
It's like
just
your room is dirty.
over there
Yeah.
now. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, your room
the
is
hard
dirty.
part, bro.
You don't clean your room. You just put the dirty clothes in the closet. You know your
Yeah,
clothes are still there. You're not saying
we
it. It's
just
just like,
it's yeah,
you
you
know,
can't see
Yep.
it, but it's still the hard part. I be thinking about if it's bad or not. We could. I agree. It's I'm on the fence, right? Because I'm thinking about like, okay, what if I could get 10,000 people that I know, black people that we know, and we said like,
right,
black people that we know, right,
Mhm.
to gentrify an area, right? But
Yeah.
not like where they're still there, but we're displacing them. Like we know we're
right,
coming in with that. We're gonna make it better, but everybody over there got to get out.
mm,
I
Yeah.
don't know if I could say that's good
right,
with that
Yeah. I
mentality.
feel that.
Like we're going in and we're about to just, hey, everybody who's there, we getting them up out of there. We buying up everything. I don't know if that mentality
But
is
okay.
good. Like,
Okay. So like on the other hand of things though, like let's say we went into that community and let's say this is a poverty stricken community, right? Like let's say this is 5 points back in the day, right? Like this is like 5 points like 1996. We're going in and we're trying to do a complete rehaul of it, right?
right,
If we offer them resources that they never would have had access to, and like let's say we did displace this community, but like we provided them like new housing, like we're gonna send you to a different area, but we're gonna provide you with housing, we're gonna provide you like with a better educational system, we're also gonna pay you, so like we're gonna pay you to also like move and
right,
and to displace you to somewhere else. Like yeah, you're not gonna be in your area, your neighborhood where you grew up anymore,
right,
granted, but we're giving you access and resources that you've never seen and probably never would have ever seen in your life, if nothing had changed. Is that still bad? Right? Like if
right,
we went in and we made sure that every family there got paid,
right,
right? Like, like we were like, all right, like we know that like this house is worth, let's say this house is worth $120,000. We're gonna offer you $250,000, like, just because we're feeling generous, right? Like we're going to offer you $250,000 for the inconvenience, and we're going to provide your family with access to resources. We're going to connect you with um um uh what are those, like those resource
right,
coordinators, like we're going to like there's going to be like there's going to be a community center with like resource coordinators and stuff like that. So like if there's anything that you need, you can go to them and ask how to get it, like figure those things out. If we set these people up in that type of way and then displace them, like granted, we're still displacing them, moving them, but is that still bad?
it's it's tough, right? I think that's better, right? But the concept is still the same. Is that we'd be kicking a certain group of people out of this area, and something that was ringing with me when you were saying that is like that what you're saying would be like what a good person would do, but not what a good businessman would do.
Hell
right,
You know
no.
what I'm
You
saying?
got you damn
Like, well, I
right.
wouldn't I'm gonna overpay for the house for what? This is what it's worth. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm not gonna make a community senator for you. That ain't. Why would I do that? It don't even
Yeah.
help.
I agree.
Like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
right,
So
agree.
it's kind of like
right,
I was thinking that, like, when you were saying that, I was like, that's good person versus good business kind of
Yeah.
situation.
right.
Like, if we did go
But
into it as good people,
Is that
it could be
yeah.
different, right? But it
would
would
that
be
be
more
good
expensive for
though?
the person. Be I think it could be right because
Right,
if you were displacing them to a new place that you were going to make a little bit better, but it's still
And
tough. Like,
not just a new place, a better place. Like let's say like this is a community that like we built
right,
like prior to approaching this community, and like we're moving you to a much better community, kind of thing. We're paying you to move to a better community,
right,
and we're taking this community that you're leaving and we're rebuilding this community. So to me, like that's a win-win situation. Not only did we
right,
like, yes, we had to displace you to another area, but we're moving you to a better situation with better resources.
is
right,
that
Now, granted, to
realistic
your point,
though?
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly. That's what
Like, is
like
that real?
it
Like,
could be though.
imagine if we built up an area like us, right? We built up an area, and then we wanted that area. Then we moved over there and sent them to the area we built up. Is that like
no,
for
but
the
But
low? Like,
I'm
I
saying,
don't know if that's
though,
realistic.
I'm saying though,
right,
like, let's say we were billionaires, right? And like, we just had the ability to do this and we wanted to, right?
right,
We could, right? And we would get our investment back by rebuilding the community
right,
that we got, like that we're rebuilding, right? And so we make our money back,
right.
but it's just like, it's funny. Moody said, "So you're going to nicely take my stuff."
That's what I'm saying.
But
Come on,
my
shout
thing
out
is,
to Moody,
we're not.
man. Moody feels me. That's my kindred spirit
But
right there.
Moody, we're not taking your. You take your stuff with you. What are
Right.
you?
It's not
You
like
take
that.
your stuff with you. Ain't nobody
Right.
taking your stuff,
Well, you
and I'm
making
gonna
it for
pay
your
you.
Nah,
credit. Right.
she talking about the
I'm not
house.
taking.
You taking the house.
I'm putting you. I'm putting you in a better house.
Right.
If I'm taking you from this and putting you in like the Fresh Prince of Bel Air crib,
Right.
like where it's just like, hold up, this is
Or,
me.
or
You know,
just something
like
similar. Or something similar in that style. But you see that with business too. What about business, right? If a new CEO take over a struggling business, and sometimes they got to fire or get rid of people and bring in no whole new
yeah,
people. Because at the end of the day, those new people are going to increase the overall top line of revenue of the business, right? Is that good or bad?
yeah,
It's
That's right.
yeah.
like, is that
Agree.
bad? Is that
Yeah,
good? Other people like,
it's the
well,
same
good.
thing.
So it's kind of
It's the
like that's
same
how I
thing.
look at it. It's kind of like the same
It's
thing,
both.
Because oh,
It's really what it is, huh? It
It's
is good
both.
and bad. It's good
It's
and
good
bad.
and bad. Yeah,
Depending
because
on who
all the
you
people who are
are.
getting
Like,
fired, yeah,
right. But it's like for me, I look at like the net positive, right? At the end of the day, if it's gonna create more value than bad, if the good outweighs the bad, then I'm like, all right, shit. Like, I don't know. It's hard.
yeah. It's hard, but this brings in the question of what we talked about earlier. Like good business and morality don't always align.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
We understand that. Like making making good business decisions is not always going to be the
Right.
best
Morally.
decision to make as a person, like morally. Like
Right.
you just have to understand like it's not
Right.
personal, it's business.
It's
And
business. Right.
that's where I understand both sides of things. It's
Right.
just like because it's hard to not take things personally when you've been on the other side of things,
Right.
right? If you were the person who was displaced or fired or whatever,
Right.
you're gonna be mad.
Yeah.
You're gonna be livid, right? You know, but if you're on the other side of things and you were like, shit, man, like I got kept at the company and now we're thriving and
Right.
I got a raise and like,
Right.
you know, I'm over here calling DG like, yo, bro, I know they let you go, but we up, baby. We up, yo, at the first opportunity, I'm gonna make sure you get back up in here. Like I got in good with
Right.
David. David is good people's man.
Right.
I'm gonna make
Shout out to
sure
Dave.
David hires you. I'm gonna make sure David hires you, bro. Like, you know, so
Yeah, it's hard because, for example, right? Let's say if you hire, right? You have your manager, you have an employee who just like his wife pregnant, whatever. Boom, and that employee been struggling, like he's not getting the job done for like the past 8 months. You've been having all these words with him, and then you get rid of him. Is that good or bad? Because now he's got to go home, don't have a job. His wife is pregnant. But in the day, sometimes I think like those decision has to be made.
hmm
And it's hard. It's hard when you're at the receiving end, right? You're like, damn,
yeah,
man, I'm getting fired. But at the end of the day, you're not increasing overall value because in life, everything is value. I think end of the day, right?
yeah,
If you're not increasing value, like, yeah, I get it. I know, understand you're going through some personal stuff. But at the end of the day, I can just hold on to that personal stuff like 2, 3, 5 years, man. Like, it got to be a
yeah,
point. I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna part ways. Like, it's
yeah,
like a relationship. Like, I
yeah,
like you. Like, we gotta part ways. Is it good
Yes.
or bad?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
she's
Be-
single.
it, it's such
She's
a
because
bad.
nothing is
I
unconditional.
know
Nothing is there's always going to be conditions. There's always going to be a condition to everything. Like that's just
it's
how
tough.
it is.
Now
It's
she's
tough,
sad,
bro. Like when
right?
I
But
think about
now
like
you in Dubai. You in Dubai with a new girl. Now the other girl's sad. She's like depressed. Like, is that good or bad?
it's I had to gentrify my shit. You know what I'm saying?
He
Nah,
said I had to displace her ass.
I had to display some things.
I
You
had
know,
to displace her ass.
but it's better over here now. You know what I'm saying? But man, it's tough. Like it's tough when we
Right,
think about this on a broad
right,
scale because
right.
is the U.S. nicer after Christopher Columbus came out here? Yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
is it good? Like you know what I'm saying?
right.
don't know. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's just
Yeah,
It's tough, man. It's
I
tough.
feel that's just the world we live in, bro. For everything, it's just gonna be
yeah,
like, every little decision that we make, right? If you want to be technical, look at the phone we're using, the iPhones and all that, right? If you want to get technical, I know you guys familiar with like the cobalt is like they use that in like the Tesla battery. They get that from like the Democratic Republic of Congo. That's what they usually make the it's called cobalt,
yeah, yeah,
cobalt, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
to get that, bro, there are people in Africa, like kids, like young kids, like at the
yep,
mine working
yep,
hours and not getting paid, and they took extract all the resource and built all these things. And we use these things. So are we part of the problem? Technically, we are because we're aware of it, right? So like,
yeah,
I just believe like everything there are a little bit of dirt, right, associated with almost everything. I believe for me,
yeah,
it's like once you're not like going out of your way, if you're a CEO or a businessman, you're not going out of your way to like hurt people or exploit people, then I feel like I can sleep at night. But once I know I'm purposely stealing from people, man, like people who are poor and all that stuff, then I'll feel some type of way by the end of the day because I believe like everything we do, there's gonna be a little bit of like bad
yeah.
or whatever you want to consider associated with that
Yeah.
in some way, shape,
There's,
or
there's, there's,
form.
it's cause and effect, man. There's the thing is, every decision you make, not everyone's going to be a fan of, and
Right.
it's not going to be good for everyone, right? Like if you make it, like DG said, if I make the decision to dump my girl, she's not going to like it,
She's
but
not.
I'm up now, like I'm
Back
now in
out
New York, like
the
living
side
my
of the
best
way.
life, and I got
Yeah.
somebody bomber, and I got somebody bomber. She ain't gonna like it. She gonna be
Right.
sitting there looking at my stories like, man, he ain't shit. That should be
Right.
us. I'm gonna be
Right.
like, nah, it
Right.
shouldn't be. Like,
Right.
and so like there's going to be pros and cons to every decision that is made, and that's just how life works. Like, because
Right.
like that it's literally how everything in the universe works. So, but this leads me into like the next question of, can you redeem yourself after making big unethical decisions? I think
Ooh.
that's a big, because when we talk about like questions of
Right.
ethics, can you redeem yourself if you did all this shit in your past, right? Like all these, if you went and displaced all these communities, knowing that you were like winning, right? And putting all of these people in a bind and just like saying, hey, you kind of got to figure it out
Right.
yourself. That's not my problem, right? Can you? Is there anything that can be done on the back end of things to redeem
Ooh.
yourself from that?
I would. I want to say it's yes, but it's a long road, bro. You actually have to like prove people right again. You gotta like build that trust. If you're willing to build that trust, it could happen, but the probability of that happening to me is very rare. But so
Mm,
I'll say yes, but it requires that individual to do a lot more to
yeah,
build that trust again.
yeah,
So yes, but it just takes a lot to get there. I think Ramon just froze.
yeah.
I'll say
Yeah,
so.
Chris.
He's
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you're definitely frozen.
Yep.
It's that Android.
Nah, man.
It's that you
And
see
this is
what
the first time
you
I've
see
ever y'all both been froze before. This is the first time
you
I ever
see what
froze,
you see
boy.
what happens with that Android shit.
Hold
You
up,
see what
hold up.
happens with that Android shit.
Yeah, so I'll say yes, but it just requires a lot of work to get people to like trust you once again. You know,
Yeah,
yeah, but it just and most of the time, I think most of the time people are not willing to put in that work because it's a lot harder. Because if you fool me once, now I don't trust you no more. Are you willing to like every time for me to like be skeptical about every move?
Yeah.
Like,
hmm,
bro, I don't believe you no more.
Yeah.
Like, nah,
Yeah.
you're not gonna do that. Are you gonna be okay with that? And most people, I believe, are not okay with that, right? So they're
yeah,
like,
Yeah.
nah, man, I'm just gonna walk away and start over. So I think it's it's possible, but to get back there is a lot harder than
yeah.
if you were just an ethical person along the way.
Agreed, agreed. Pete, what you think?
Am I still froze?
Like,
Y'all can see me?
no, you
Now we
good,
can
I'm
see
man.
moving
you
I'm
now.
moving around and shit. Nah, but I, I I like the way that you hit that, man. I honestly think it's because I'm on the side of like I'm pretty optimistic. I think anything's possible,
Right.
right? So it is possible, but just highly unlikely for two reasons, and you kind of touched on them. But the first reason is if you were doing those things unethically to get to acquire things, it would be hard for me in my mind to just think that like why would you like how could you like why
Right.
would you change?
Right.
Like if it worked for you, like if you were doing unethical things to like put yourself in position, why would you just all of a sudden just change?
Mm,
So it would be hard for me to think that you would just change for no reason. Like why like what would be the reason on changing? Like like it worked for you. You know what I'm saying? And the other side is what you was touching on, DG, is like anybody who's done me like wrong, like super bad.
Right.
I don't even care. You might be a great person now, but I
Right.
just can't. I can't fuck with you on that. Like it's kind of like
Right.
you've done something that kind of like there's some unforgivable things. So I think it's kind
Right.
of like it's the degree to which those
Right.
things are that you could get
Right.
back.
Yeah,
Like there's
Right.
certain things that if you did do, like you know what I'm saying. Like there's one thing of like I guess healthy gentrification, but if
Right.
you just went through with an army of people and killed everybody in that town and
Right. Right.
threw the bodies over the in this little
yeah,
ditch and then rehabilitated the whole area,
Right.
that's a whole different thing, right?
Right.
So I
yeah.
just think that like there's levels of what we're talking about is like what you can get back from. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
So yeah.
Agreed.
Right.
So I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think it depends on the severity of your sins, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
I know they say all sins are forgiven. I'm not God, so I'm not Jesus. I'm not out here forgiving everybody for everything. I'm sorry. There's just some shit that is just unforgivable.
Right.
And I do think there is a degree of things that like you just can't simply overcome.
Right.
Like it's just like you've done too much bad, and like regardless of whatever it is that you do, if even if you make that the journey for the rest of your life to do all the good in the world, it's just like, bro, I'm sorry. Like like
Right.
I just I can't see it. But
Right.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with you, P, in just the sense of like people can't change, like, and I see people changing because I do think growth and maturity are certain things, like, right, like I think we all grow and mature in our own rates, right,
Right.
and so like maybe if I was younger, right, at 25, 26 years old, I was probably making more rash and brash decisions, right,
Right.
like I was maybe doing things that like I wouldn't likely be doing now, though, because like just like I'm more slow to like react, and like like I'm gonna analyze a lot more now because I'm at the place of where I'm at in my life, right? Like I am very mindful of other people and stuff like that. But when you're young, like it's just like, well, shit, are these people gonna get fucked over by this decision?
Right.
Maybe, but
Right.
like, yo, we up, baby, so like, fuck it,
Right.
like,
Right.
and but I don't think that can change later on. Like I do think you can change and like want to do better, right? Like I think there's like, all right, like especially if you're a very like introspective person and you reflect, and myself being a very spiritual person, like you said, DG, earlier, I got to be able to go to sleep at night, like
Right.
just knowing that like as like on my heart that I'm
Right.
doing good, right? And
Right.
not just for me, for everybody. And so if there's anybody that I've wronged, I'm gonna do my best to make it right,
Right.
kind of thing. And that's just the type of person that I am, But it's not like I was always like that,
Right.
like. Well, I would say for the most part, yeah. But like, I'm just saying, like, it's not that people can't change, Like when I think of like, not necessarily from a business decision, but I think of like Chris Brown, right? Everybody like still gives him shit to this day about Rihanna, right? Like, is that something he's ever going to be able to overcome? He's had a
Right.
successful career since, so I would say that he overcame it.
Right.
But like, is that something that like is he going to be paying for the sin of that
Right.
forever?
Right.
Maybe, for some people, yeah, but for others, they're like, shit, I love Chris Brown, right?
Right.
Like other people are like, man, that's my man, like
Right.
over here taking wild ass pictures with him, like paying thousands of dollars to take these crazy ass pictures with him, right? But this is still the man who beat the shit out of Rihanna, right? So like, what sins are forgiven, and what's can't you overcome? Like you said, P, I think there is a degree of what you can overcome. But I do think that people can change,
Right.
though, is what I'm saying. Like I do think growth and maturity do play a piece, and like, especially if you just like have a heart and a soul, man. Like at some point you're like, I think as human beings,
Right.
we innately want to connect with people. Like
Right.
we're not, human beings are not meant to be alone. Like isolation is not a good thing. Like it's not who we are. It's not what we're, Adam and Eve were a pair for a reason. They were not meant to be like, like alone, so I think we don't innately like want to just be alone and want to just fuck people over forever and shit
Right.
like that. You know, like
Right.
sometimes, you know, like in the heat of things, you make crazy decisions, and it's just like, damn, like, you know, I probably shouldn't have cheated on my girl, but I did, and it's just like, fuck. Well, like, can I overcome that? I don't know, like, you know, but it's
Right.
just like, well, shit, you know, like. But is it like once a cheater, always a cheater? You know, like it's just like these things that you have to think about, right? You know, it's
Right.
just like, damn, like, you know, but I do think growth and maturity do play a piece in
Right.
it though.
And just to retouch on that, because I agree with what you're saying. I wasn't saying that people can't change. I was saying the person that you did it to would be hard to them to believe that you changed,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
like if
Right.
somebody cheated on you, it would be hard to you, but even if they did change, it'd be hard to
Right.
you to believe they're not a cheater anymore. Like maybe
Right.
they're
Yeah.
not, but in your mind, they cheated you. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's
Yeah.
kind of what
Yeah.
I was coming at it from that point. Like I fully believe anybody can
Right.
change,
Yeah.
but it would be hard for the ones that was on the other side of that to believe you're now you
Yeah.
know what I mean, you came through and did this to this area and now you're a stand up guy. It would be hard for
Right.
them to
Yeah.
believe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So it's
Yeah.
That's not I more meant like that.
right. Right. So my next question would be then: should we hold people based on their past? Do you judge
Yeah.
people based? Go ahead.
I think it's got to play a piece.
Right.
It's got to play a piece, right? Like I'm not saying I'm not I'm not saying you can't overcome everything from your past, but it's going to be taken into consideration, right? You know, like if I'm dating somebody, right, and some shit comes up from her past, and I'm like, we need to address this. Like we need to have a conversation. We need to have a conversation because this was not disclosed to me at the beginning. So we need to have a fucking conversation. 'Cause, whoa. I don't know, man. Yes, I do think you have to be held accountable for your past. Absolutely.
What do you think,
Yeah.
Ramon?
Yeah, and the truth is, yeah, I'm about to make a perfect example, right? No matter how good your credit score is, if you have that payment history,
Right. Right.
if you go back, it still looks at your payment history, right? You
Right.
still have certain things on your credit, right? So
Right.
you can get your credit really, really good over time. But if you missed 4 or 5 payments 6 years ago, you know what I'm saying? That's still on your credit report. So I don't
Right.
think that like it's play the biggest role. Like this
Right.
is who you are now, but it does
Right.
play
Right.
a role
Yeah.
for sure.
I agree.
Like for sure, you
Agree.
know what I mean? Because something was going on around this time that, like Z said, it has to be addressed. What was going on during this time?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like something was going on that was making you act in a way that I don't fuck with. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you know, listen, we need to address that because what is that? You
You
don't do
do.
that no more, do you? You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
No,
man. So I mean,
I agree. I agree. You guys like right to the point. I do agree because it's everywhere, right? Because if you look at business, right? If you're looking at a business, if you want a company to invest in, you go prior. You look at a financial report to see if the company was a profit over the last past 5 years.
yeah,
Those are the things you
Hmm.
look at. So I believe that
Exactly.
past
Yep.
matters in everything because I think sometimes the past predicts how the future is going to turn out to a certain level. It's not always
Hmm.
accurate, but most often, like it shows you like how people behave, things to do, how business perform prior years. So that's an indicator of like how they're gonna like perform. I mean, it's not 100% like by the book, but it just shows you like how things are done. So I think it's just
Yeah.
like it's a good indicator of like
Yeah.
things. But you hear that all the time though, like like people say that all the time, like the past is the past. Like no, like the past criminals, right? People who like have criminal records, they don't even give them jobs, right? That certain places, like certain like I think when it comes to like certain financial jobs, like they don't hire you when you like this like maybe some embezzlement or stuff like that ever on your
Yeah.
resume. You never.
yeah,
It don't matter how 10, 20 years ago, you're never ever gonna take this
Agree.
type of position. So if other companies are looking at those things like 20 years ago, DG, you still $1,000 20 years ago from the bank. We can't give you this position. Like
Yeah.
still your past or these
Yeah.
people being judged on their it's crazy, but I think that's just sometimes how things work.
it's funny.
Yep.
Like
Uh,
in the position I'm in now, I just want to touch on this because this is where you know where you was at with it. Is like in the position I'm in now, where like we in the job I'm at, we lend money to businesses, right? To small and medium businesses, and we
Right.
have to do credit checks on people. right?
Yep.
And there's certain like rules that we have in place, like if you had a financial crime within the last 10 years, then you can't apply with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But then there's some crimes that it don't matter how long you did it. If you
Right.
got this on your record, if you got like some murder or some rape or
Yeah.
some,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying, something like that, you can't never be
Yeah.
involved. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of what it is. That's right. It's like it's the level of what it is, like what we're
Yeah.
talking about. It's the level of what that thing is to like if it's kind of still forgivable to
Right.
even approach now. There's some shit that
Yeah.
over time you'll be like, you did do that shit, but bro, you know, full transparency, man, I got caught for, you know, stealing from Target when I was
Right.
when I was like 17 or 16 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
that did happen.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? I still get a weird feeling when I walk in Target sometimes.
No,
from when they got me.
I'm just
From when
kidding.
they got me, man.
I'm
But to
kidding.
be honest, you know, like over time, you know,
Right.
my history since then has showed that's not who I am. You know
Right.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
He
think.
said,
Yeah.
I,
Go ahead, Z.
no, I was gonna say he go on Target like I should just go ahead and
Yeah.
steal something from y'all's asses.
He got you.
Just
I,
because.
I still got the weird memory of when they got me. That's
Damn.
what it is. It's kind of like a weird, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
How they got you though? I'm curious. How they got you?
man.
He said
So
it's a
I
traumatic
was
experience.
I was
I,
working for Target. I was working for Target, man, and you know I was just being dumb, bro. Like we
right.
just literally was like the thing is you would I guess we're gonna get into it then,
Right.
right? Like
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
every time you would work, I was working at the cashier. You would work in different cashiers, right? You would work in different ones.
Yeah.
So like so there was really no way to really if they didn't catch you on the spot, there would be no way that they really knew if you was like you know taking money,
Right.
honestly. So I was just young and dumb, bro. I was just like, you know, I knew that it would be hard for them to kind of track it back to me. So, you know what I'm saying? I was just literally just, you know, here and there just taking some money, bro. Skimming some money off the top, you know what I'm saying? Ringing different things up and skimming some money off the top, man. And turns out they had a whole investigation going on me for like, you know, some months. And then
I
they
bet.
had, you know, like they caught me and my friend doing like a little transaction. And then there was like a little, and my manager came up. And she was like, "Do you mind helping him grab some stuff from the back?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I go back there, and then I'm thinking about to help him grab some stuff, and it's like an investigator, and he's like, "I
Yeah.
actually, you know,"
Mm-hmm.
then they got the, you know, they closes the door, and the cops on outside, and he's like, we actually been watching you for about 3 months now. We know you've been stealing, so let's take a walk." You know, yeah. So like I said, man, that moment still rings with me. I thought
Right.
I never
Yeah.
really relived this moment, but
Right.
here we are. You know what I mean?
It's
Here
it's
we
it,
are, man.
it's crazy because I went to the store back in Ghana. One of my good friends, and he's still from the store, right? And then I didn't snitch right away, but we went home. I told his mom. I feel bad, bro. I, he's like my best friend. I snitched on him. I like, damn, man, I'm a snitch, bro. Like, I
Don't
just said, yeah.
don't tell DG shit. The moral of the story:
Nah,
don't tell
Hey,
DG shit.
I wouldn't have made it 3 months with DG on my side.
Don't tell DG shit.
hey, man, I was young. I didn't tell the store manager. I told his mom. You know, I thought I told the manager. He could have got in big trouble, right? I
That
thought I
that
snitched
might
right
have been
there.
worse, man.
Yeah,
Depending on whose mama is, that might have been
right.
worse.
No,
Don't commit any crimes with DG because DG goes he go
Oh
what he
man,
the cops gonna show up to his crib. He gonna be what you want to know. I'll
that's
tell you everything. I'll tell
yeah,
you everything.
yeah.
Hey,
So he
if you
comes in
can
at
do the crime,
8:55.
go do the time. That, hey, I felt bad, bro. He was so disappointed in me, bro. Like it was cool. Like I like acted like nothing happened. We went home, and I just told his mom, I was like, yeah, he stole from the store today. Like like all that he stole. Like yeah, bro.
That whole
He got.
ride home, you was thinking about it, huh? Like, man,
I
I
was like,
can't let this ride, man.
yeah, yeah, bro. And then I snitched on him, man. And he got beat up. Yeah, I felt bad afterwards because he wasn't my friend no more though.
Jeez,
I was
yeah.
gonna say, are y'all still friends?
No, I mean after that we was able to like amend the friendship for a little bit, right? Because we was young, but like yeah, his mom beat him. We
He
talked
ain't
about it.
trust you with shit ever
Nah,
again. No, I know he
He
never.
was
he
like,
And
never
to him, you're a snitch, no matter what. Like to
yeah,
this day,
right,
if they ask if he seen you on like the podcast or
right,
something, he'd be like, nah, he is
right.
snitch.
Yeah, I'm a snitch, so yeah, I did that.
his snitch ass.
That's
Oh,
how the
snitch
past
ass.
that's how the past works for some people, right? Like they
Right,
always connects you to that
right.
piece, man. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
crazy.
funny. I just thought of it. I was like, damn, my homeboy, man. But the good thing, bro, he could have. It was in Ghana because he could have got in trouble, right?
Yeah,
Because he was a Liberian
yeah.
at the store. So I never told the manager because I saw him. I didn't say anything. He like, you want some of it? I was like, nope, I don't want any of it.
He
I'm waiting for us to
said,
get
I
home.
ain't finna be an accomplice.
Yeah,
Oh,
He said, I ain't finna be an
yeah,
accomplice.
I'm not part of it, but we went home and I told his mom about it. Yo, we went to the store today and he stole a couple of items. So I'm just letting you know. And he was trying to lie. Mom was like, yeah, Diamond told me. And then, yeah, he confessed and then mom beat his ass. But yeah, but that was like, but no, for real. Now I'm not a snitch no more.
Nah. Don't commit no crime with
Hey,
DG.
you,
That
you,
boy gonna
you,
be singing. He gonna
you
be
made a
singing like
point,
Chris Brown.
Z.
And he gonna,
You said people can change. Why you think people can
fact.
change, right? So,
That's a fact.
I mean, it depends. I mean, it depends. Though. Like, let's be honest, it depends, right? Like, if I go out somewhere, if you did something dumb, I'm not gonna go to jail for you, bro. Let's be honest. Like, if you, I'm, I'm not. Like, if we go out, if you like, I'm not gonna go to jail for you, bro. No,
Oh,
I'm not.
man.
I'm
I
not.
mean, I agree. I agree with
Yeah,
that. Like, I wouldn't expect anybody to go to jail for something I
yeah.
did.
Like
Like,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
dumb
like,
shit.
that is I honestly say that's the one thing that I can never get with about like on the concept of snitching is like if you did something and your man's they try to get your man for it and you don't say you did it and not him, I feel like that's the one time he has the right
yeah,
to snitch on you. If you didn't step in, he's not your man then. If you like, nah,
Yeah,
he didn't. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do that. I did. You know what I'm saying? If you willing to let him kind of fall
right.
for it, then he should have. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
At that point, that's
Let's talk about
I
that for
do.
the next episode. I think that'll be a good one to talk about.
You gonna
You snitch.
justify snitching for?
Yeah,
That's
when is the
crazy.
right time to know? When is the right time to snitch? Like that's the next episode. When is the right time? Because I do think there's the right time, and not I do think there's the right
he
time to snitch.
It's,
he said, when do snitches not get stitches?
Yeah, when?
when they don't do it in the store and they do it to their mom. That's when.
I, I don't know. I think that'll be a
Oh
good
man,
topic to
that's
go
funny.
go over next week. That'll be a good
That's
one.
hilarious.
uh,
And I think
so before we wrap this thing up, though, the question is, does money make people happy? I think that's one of the like last questions.
let's end on let's end on this note.
Absolutely, yes, 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 yes. Hell yeah, hell freaking yeah. It does, bro. Like it does makes you happy because I feel like for me, man, when you look at happiness, for me, I believe I'm a happy person regardless of money or not. Right? I'm always positive, happy. So the more money I have, for me, just like it's like more freedom. That's how I look at it. Does freedom makes you happy? Absolutely, yeah. If you're in jail, confined, a little ass room, you're not gonna be happy. But if you're out here free, you can travel wherever you want, you're gonna be happy. And for me, I look at money as giving me that freedom to do whatever I want, freedom with my time, freedom with just overall my life, and that's for sure. It makes me happy. So hell, yeah, it does makes you happy, for sure.
And I said, hell yeah,
Yeah,
hell yeah, hell yeah.
You
yeah,
want to say
What you think, P?
Uh, yeah, I think when you talk about does money make you happy, it can make you happier to get access to different types of things. But I do think that there is a limit of
right,
happiness, right? And now we
right,
talked about this a little bit, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like the difference between 50,000 and 500,000 is big,
right.
you know what I mean? But the difference between 500,000 and 600,000 might not be that big,
Correct.
even though it's a whole nother 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Right,
or the difference between, you know, uh, you know, 1 million and 100 million is huge, right? But a hundred
right,
million and 150, your lifestyle
right,
might not change
right,
that much. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So
right,
I think yes, like it can afford you access to be happier up until a certain point,
right,
and then it's kind of like it's capped off, and you're just kind of like figuring out how you
right.
want to delegate where the money actually goes.
I agree.
Yeah,
That's like my overall answer of it.
Right,
Um, but it yeah, but it getting out of survival mode it's a lot different between being out of survival mode to comfortable. That can
right.
buy you a lot of happiness.
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think money contributes to happiness. Absolutely. I think it it does afford you certain things like freedom, like access, which does in turn make you happy. Like
Right.
if I now have access to do whatever it is that I want to do, whenever I want to do it, how could I not be happy, right? You know, like of
Right.
course I'm going to be happy. Now, do I think money buys happiness? No. I like there's plenty of wealthy people who are unhappy, you know, like so I don't think money can just itself buy happiness, but I think it does contribute.
Right.
You know, like I think like if you're a very depressed person and like, you know, like you think money is just gonna solve all your issues, it's not.
No, I agree.
You know, like it can't buy you happiness, right? You know,
Right.
like it can help it provides you resources,
Right.
right? You can go see a
Right.
therapist. You know, you can start seeing like a spiritual healer to like start
Right.
working on yourself, you know, but you still have to do that work yourself in order to be happy. And I
Right.
think a lot of people think that money just buys happiness, and it doesn't. It does contribute though,
Right.
because it gives you access and it gives you resources. So I think money can help make you happy, absolutely, but like it can't just buy happiness for you. Like I think we've done the work, right? So like I would consider all three of us very happy people, you know, like, and money's only going to help amplify that, you know, of course, because it's just now we can do whatever we can go get crepes in Paris tomorrow
Right. Right.
because we can, like, because we want to, like, just because,
Right.
hey, DG, tell Alfred to come pick us up in your private jet. We all gonna fly over. We all gonna fly over to Paris tomorrow
Right.
morning and have crepes
Right.
just because we can,
Right.
right? That's lit. Like, who doesn't want that, you know?
Right.
So I definitely think it does contribute for
Right.
sure, for damn sure. Like, yes,
Yeah, I mean, compared to like college, when I look at my bank account now, I'm happier. Like I'm smiling. So it's like,
yeah,
back there, like I used to be afraid to look, right? Like, overdraft again. Oh my God, like be afraid. But now it's like, look, I'm more comfortable now. So yeah, for
yeah,
sure. Like you said, you made a great point though, Ramon. I feel like after a certain point, it doesn't increase any level of happiness, right? And then I think like we
agreed.
talked about it earlier in economics terms, it's called the law of diminishing return, right? After a certain, like, for example, if you're starving, you haven't eaten all day, and I give you a box of pizza, the first slide is going to be amazing. The second slide is going to be good. Fifth, sixth slide, at the end of the day,
Yeah,
it's not as good as the first one that you had, right? It's not
yeah,
like six or seven is still the same. So, like you said, 300 mil, 400 mil, at the end of the day, it's not really going to do a whole lot, right? But from 0 to 1 mil, like
Yeah.
that was
Ooh,
yeah,
amazing.
boy.
yeah.
Your
That's
life is
that's that's
I
your
that's
would
life
do
would
crazy.
get
I would
jiggy.
do a backflip. I would do a backflip right now, and I don't even know how to do a backflip. So I think that's kind of like
Hmm.
that. That's kind of like that level of happiness. It can make you
Uh
happy.
Mooney said, "There's
he
something
said
wrong with yourself."
if it can't make you happier, then there's something wrong with
I
yourself.
agree.
That's another good point to add to it though, right?
Yeah,
I agree.
Like if it
yeah,
can't if adding money to your life is not making you a little bit
Right.
happier, then
Right.
there's something way deeper that you need to address. Like you
Right.
need
Oh
to
yeah,
yeah.
there's something
Yeah.
way deeper, man, because
yeah,
I mean,
the one piece that I did want to add to that though is like if your money is connected to something that makes you extremely unhappy, then it kind of changes, right? Like
yeah,
if more money, you know what I mean? If like, we talked about this before. It's like, would I take 200 million and do something I hate and I'm never really off and I gotta do it all the
for how
time and I work
how
60 hours
long?
a week?
For how long?
10 years. Let's go 10 years.
Ah,
Sure.
Let's
hell
go
no,
10 years. Let's go
hell
10
no.
years.
What am I doing now? Give me an example. Like,
Whatever the worst thing you could think of. The worst thing you could think of. It's
I agree with you.
it's not immoral, but just like the thing you would hate the most. Think about
Let's
that.
say
And
let's
you
let's
and you
say
work.
let's
Go
let's say
ahead.
you
Go
got to
ahead.
let's say like you make a living like cleaning out porta
Oh,
potties.
for
Like that's just like what
yeah, I'll do it.
for 10 years,
Yeah, I'll do it. Cause
60 hours a week. I'm talking about
for
60
60
hours a week.
hours a
You never
week.
really off. You on call. You don't
no,
get to.
I mean 60 hours a week. Like after about
That's
60 hours, I'm free. Yeah, I'll do it.
all right. We
Hell
different,
no.
bro. We different, bro.
Hell nah. 10 years is
Hey,
that's a decade.
as soon as
That's
you
a
get off, I'm
decade
gonna
of
call
my
you back
life.
in. Like, hey, can you come get my shit?
That's what I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about me no more, right? It's about the people I care about. Yeah, I'm going through hell, but everyone I care about living, bro. Like, it's just like for me, I'm just making that sacrifice so everyone around me can like be, live a great life, things that they've never done before. So I'm just taking one for the team. You know how sometimes in college you go out to a party and like, you see like two girls there, bro, you gotta take one for the team, and in that scenario, hey DG,
We
bro,
didn't
come
all
on.
took one for the
But
team.
but but but
I,
taking one for the team for one night and 10 years is
but
two
yeah,
completely
but
different
it's
things.
bro, there are
That's
people
a
who work
fact.
60 hours. There are people who do that and they don't even make that much money.
I
They
agree.
do that for,
Not facts.
I
That's
agree with
a
you.
fact. That some people that
Yeah.
have that job, and
right.
but you didn't even let me finish the question. You were so ready for that 200 mil.
He said
You were so
200 million.
you were so ready for that 200 mil. You didn't even let me finish the question. The question was that or 2 million, and you do something that you love.
For 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years. And you can't make more or less on either of them.
Nah, I'm taking the 200 mil, bro. I'm putting parties every day.
That's crazy, bro.
And
That's
I'm
crazy
doing
to
that.
me. To me, that's crazy.
I'm taking the 2 million, bro. I'm taking the
I'm
two
taking the
million and being
2 million,
happy.
bro.
Hey,
Two
y'all just
million.
saying that. Y'all just saying that because it's not in your bank account right
I
now. If you look at that
promise
number,
you. Nah, I promise you. Do something like I like to look like, bro. The
I
next
mean, it's
10
not
years
that
could be.
bad though. Like, it's just like you just cleaning party, bro. You just
Is
like
that the
you do
worst
that every day.
job? Is that the worst
Yeah,
job you could think of, though?
yeah, it's not that bad
Nah,
to be
nah.
honest.
No,
Like
I'm,
for
I'm
me,
It's
I'm saying the worst job you could think of. That might not be the worst job.
yeah,
You might not mind getting your
yeah,
hands dirty. You know
all
what I'm
right, all
saying?
right.
right.
All right, Diamond. All right, Diamond. All
10
right, Diamond.
years,
You got to
and then
do gay.
retire.
All right, Diamond. You got to do gay porn for 10 years.
No, that no, that's my moral, right? That's my moral. So I cannot no.
Hey, you got to take one for the team, right?
No,
Like
no,
when you take
Hey,
you
nah,
taking
hell
more than
nah.
one for the
Nah,
team at
that
that
ain't.
point.
That
nah,
ain't.
no, nah, billion, trillion, I won't do that, right? I can't, I won't be, I can't sleep at night doing that. But parties, bro, I would do that every day. I retired after 10 years, man. 200
Hey, Greg.
mil,
Greg said he's with you. Greg said he's with you, man.
yeah,
Get you a
10 years.
10-piece in and
Like,
retire.
all my homies, all the close friends, family, nieces, college tuition pay. Oh, mom's good, retirement home. Like, go back, like, and I'll still be bombing 10 years.
Maybe. I
I
mean,
mean,
60 hours.
I feel what you're saying. I'm not saying I disagree. Like I do feel what you're saying, but I'm just saying like 2 million is still a good
That's what I'm
amount of
saying. You
money
could get.
after 10. That's still a really good living though. Like is what I'm saying. Some people don't make 2 million in their lifetime, bro. Like so like that's
You might
still
not be
a
able
lot of
to
money.
do. You might not be able to pay your cousin's tuition, but with
Right.
2 million, you could still pay your niece's tuition or something.
But
Like,
think
you know
about
what I'm
it
saying?
though, right? Think about it though. In America, bro, most people stay out their job that they don't like forever
Mhm.
until retire. Like the plan people work for 40
Yeah.
years, do things that they don't like for 40 years and retire. And like at the end of the day, they have like 200K in a full 1K plan. People do that shit for 40 years. I'm just doing 10 years and I have like 200 mil doing things I don't like. I feel like if you ask 90% of people nowadays, bro, they're doing things they don't like and not getting paid a whole lot. And then for me,
Mhm.
doing that for 200 mil for 10 years, like I
Yeah.
stayed on my job for 8 years.
I get it. I do get it.
you
I
know?
do get it. I do
So,
get both sides. It's just
yeah.
it's at that point. It's personal, right? I mean, it's like
Like
because
Z
if it
went to
was,
South. Z went to South. Cape Point
yeah,
never
that's
came back.
we all
Hey,
got a limit. You know?
we said the worst thing that we could think of, and I'm
Yeah,
like, that's
bro.
probably the worst shit I could think of.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
that's when you like talk about
Yeah,
morals almost. Like
yeah,
that's
that's what
another
I'm saying.
level.
Yeah,
Like
for my morally, I won't be able to do it, right? Because like you say, oh, hurt somebody for 200 mil, I won't be able to do that, right? Shoot, like going like be a hitman. I'm not doing that for 200 mil because that's not something
Mhm.
I personally would do. But cleaning bathroom every day, I'll be out there with my dancing bro, do this thing you live, do this thing you live. We'll be. They're gonna be like, damn, bro.
is that the
He's
worst
like, he's so
thing though?
happy.
Like I.
They're
Yeah,
like, he's so happy. Why is he so happy cleaning the bathroom? Like, why is he so happy cleaning the bathroom? Like on the weekends, Ferraris and G Wagon put up in the driveway.
because that boy got
Bro,
a
What are you
a
gonna be doing
billion
on the
dollars.
weekends? You working 60 hours a week. You barely gonna have time.
It's okay. I'll find
He
time,
got
bro. I'll find time.
$1 billion. He got $2 billion after that, though. When you break
Yeah,
it
No,
down,
no, no,
yeah.
not 2 billion.
200
it's
mil.
200 million, right?
Yeah,
A year,
200
200
million.
mil.
200 million.
Oh, wait, we're talking about
No,
a year?
even like that's the 10 years, the max, 200 million, 10 years. Let's not even do because a year I'll clear like 300,000 bathrooms.
Bro, I was gonna change my answer. If we said 200 million a year,
Well, let's
that's
do
a
two.
different
Let's do
story.
well, 200
But
million
still,
a year for the rest of your life.
Nah, hell nah.
ooh.
Hell nah.
Let's make it harder. Let's make
Hell
it harder for the
nah.
rest of your life.
Hell nah. Or 2 million a year for like doing what I love a year?
Yeah.
I mean, no, obviously 2 million a
Nah, bro.
year.
I'm
But
taking 2 million a
I mean,
year,
that's
bro. Like
easy.
that's not even a
Everyone,
question.
everyone would
It's
take
not
two
even a
mil. Everyone would
question,
take 2 mil
bro.
a year. Everyone would take 2 mil. Say cap, just cap at 2 mil forever. That's it. Not 2 mil. Yeah, everyone's gonna take that, bro. Like that's like the 1%.
All right,
Everyone's gonna
25
take it.
years.
Yeah,
Final
I'm
offer.
like,
Uh,
Final offer, 25 years.
right. How much I'm making? 200
25
mil.
years. You get 200 mil,
200
but
million a year.
got to do it for 25 years.
I mean,
Hell
Starting
nah.
today.
let me do the math. So I'll
Hell
be
nah.
50. I'll have to think about this offer,
You'd be
sir,
like
and
60.
get back to you.
You'd be like
Yeah,
60.
yeah, 25. Yeah, I'll be like 60. I think
Okay.
about it. They retire with 200 mil.
When you
No,
was like 55.
no, you're getting 200 million a year,
Oh,
right? Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
yeah?
You
You're
got
getting
to
200
work.
million a year, but you got to work for the next. You got to do that shit for the next 25
how many
years.
hours a week am I working?
Like we
60
said,
hours.
60, bro.
But I don't even like how. Like,
You see what? Hey,
okay.
he always be doing it. Nah, he always be
You
doing that
gotta.
shit. He be like,
I be
but
trying to
wait,
see,
like,
but wait, there's more.
but
But
wait,
wait, there, I be
but
trying to
wait,
get.
but wait.
I be trying to get. I be trying to see. I be trying to
Uh,
stretch it to
uh,
the. I be trying to stretch to the farthest
hey,
point of where
you know
y'all
what?
would actually go. You
Hey,
know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna stay on business. I would take the 200 mil a year. I'll stay on business.
200 million a year for 25 years, bro.
I'm staying on
Doing,
business. I'll stand on business. I'll take one for the
but
team. I'll stay on business. I'll do it. I'll
that's
stay on.
crazy. Or 2 million a
No,
year
but no, you can't do
for
2 mil.
doing what you love.
No, but that's easy. It's not 2 mil a year. You can't give you 2 mil. That's easy. That's like everyone's gonna pick 2 mil a year. Nah, it has to be like maybe like 50K a year
All right,
doing
so
what you
so
love.
so what's the opposite then? So 200 million a year for 25 years, and what's the other side of things,
50,
P? If I
50K max for doing what you love. 50K max or
50K
80K.
is insane,
Yeah,
bro.
50K
yeah.
is crazy,
Oh no,
bro. That's crazy.
if
Nah,
Nah,
that's crazy,
wait,
bro.
wait, wait,
200 mil versus
wait,
50K is insane, bro.
wait.
That's crazy, bro.
If I'm gonna be working 60 hours of every day for the rest of my life, 50K is a lot. Don't go there with me.
No, no, bro. 50K is that's wild, bro.
Yeah, 50,
Fuck that.
50K for what you love to do.
50K?
Hell
Exactly.
nah.
Come on, man.
Hell, that's crazy,
That's
bro.
Yeah.
No,
come on, man.
So
50K?
which one? What are you doing? 200 mil or 50K? I mean,
no,
gotta be.
bro. That's stop it.
That's not.
Stop it.
That's not
Stop.
even
No,
comparable. That's
that's
not.
not even fair. That's not even fair.
How is that fair for me to work 60 hours a day, a
I'm
week?
saying like
Okay.
100K.
Oh, geez.
You see? Hey, take it, Greg. I'm gonna be 500 billion when I retire at 6 years old. Still have a six pack.
Maybe. Maybe.
I mean, I can't. My son's gonna be. I'm doing it, bro. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Like, yeah. So you cap. Y'all gonna take the 50K
Nah,
option
No,
per
if
year?
it's 50K, I
that's
had to
not the
switch it. Yeah,
option.
yeah, I had to
That's
switch it.
not the option. That is not the option.
Okay.
The option is like 100K.
Okay.
I think that's
All right.
realistic.
I'll do
Yeah,
this.
I
I'll give you
knew the math
75K.
was a little off
I,
there.
I,
He said 500 B. Hey,
I'll,
that didn't sound right. You know,
I'll be nice. I give you
500 B. We
75K.
just agreed and shit. Like, yeah, that do sound like some good money.
All right, 75K. What about 75K?
No,
75K.
bro, 100K, 100K. If we're talking about like that's pretty extreme. 100K versus 200 million
Okay.
dollars, bro. That's extreme.
No, exactly. 50K. I give you 75.
No, bro.
I'll give you
No,
bonus. I give you 75K max.
no. 100K, bro. 100K
BE said 100K
for
makes
the
more
next
sense.
20 for the next 25 years. Because after 20, what's 25 times 100? That'd be what, like 2.5 million?
Yes.
After, or hold on, for 25 years,
Or just
times
100K
100K.
versus 100 M's. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, you'd have,
2.5.
so after 25 years, you'd have 2.5
I
million,
mean,
or you'd have 5 billion. Like that's extreme, bro. Like that's a
Yeah,
crazy
that's extreme.
difference.
That's
That's a
extreme.
crazy difference.
y'all said I'm gonna be working 60 hours a week. I didn't say 40 hours a week. I just want to say y'all made it a stream too. Y'all didn't say, oh, DG, you're gonna be working 40 hours a week. So pretty much, I'm not gonna be spending time with my wife, kids, and nobody else, right? Because I'm just gonna be out cleaning toilets all day. At 24, go to like Baza, like everywhere around the U.S. I'm just gonna be traveling around cleaning toilets, right? 60 hours a week. So now it's got to be the other side. Got to be a stream, right? You guys are making 50K doing what you love to do, max.
Nah, 50,
That's
nah, 50
50K
max
is
is
ridiculous.
wild, bro.
50
That's
max.
wild, bro. Like, that's wild. That's wild. No,
That's max
no,
out,
bro.
bro.
That's wild. That is
Uh,
wild.
all right, we give you 75. This is how far we could go.
That boy is crazy.
Bro, you're wild. You
That
are
boy
wild.
G said we're gonna be some broke boy activity, man.
Hey, it's true though. Y'all gonna be looking good. I'm gonna be smelling like shit, but I'm gonna be good, bro. Every day, like
Even
whenever we go on
100,
vacation,
no, but
bro.
see, even 100K is makes it a hard decision.
Right.
Like 2 M's was an easy decision for me. I'm not gonna lie, but 200K I would do. 100K is that's still a hard question. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh
Nah,
yeah.
You didn't want to give
I'm,
us
t-
a hundred,
I'm
but I
taking
think I'm
100K
taking.
a year for
I
doing what
think
I love.
I think so
Yeah.
too. I think so too. Just to love my life, be able to kick it with my family, my people. It's, you know what I'm saying, for the next 25 years. In the end, for me, it would be worth a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? I personally, I still probably pick it.
So you probably pick
Yeah.
Yeah.
right pick the 50K.
No, 100K.
I
Stop it.
knew you was gonna
Stop it.
stop
Stop
it.
it. But wait. No,
Stop
relax.
Cause it gotta be hard, like, cause I feel like 100K is easy, cause they got like it gotta be 50K, like six figure, cause yeah, it can be 100K. I'll leave like 75 doing what you love. Let's go 75 max. 100K is
Bro,
like most people.
75K versus 200 million a year. How is that fair? How is that fair?
Life, I
No, bro,
I
that's
didn't I didn't I
crazy.
didn't make the rules, bro. Life is
That's
fair.
crazy. No, if you make it 200 million a year,
Join the
I'll make it
team.
100K.
Join
I'm
the
just
team.
no,
Come
no.
come on board.
I'll make it
Man,
100. I'll make it
hey,
100.
I'm gonna put it like this, Diamond. If you making 200 M's and I'm making 50K, and you my friend, then you should be looking out for the kids. You should be
You damn
looking
right.
out for the boys.
Well,
You damn right.
I'm too busy. I'm working 60 hours a week. I ain't got time. After that, I'm tired.
Oh man, come on, man. It take about 30 seconds to send a Zelle, brother. Come on, man.
I'll be
Ca-
like, look,
ca-
can you break me off with something?
Cash out
Come
the
on, man.
cash out
Don't
the
be
kids,
selfish.
man.
Don't
You
be
know what I'm
self.
saying?
Don't be the example we was talking about earlier. Don't be having $5 billion to yourself and not be helping nobody.
I think
You
Bree.
got to help your people, right?
I think Bree's taking. She's taking 200 M's. I could tell
Hey,
by
Bree,
the.
what
I
do you?
mean,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you
Bree's taking.
going with it, Bree? I know.
Bree's taking the 200 M's. I
There you
know
go.
that for
That's
sure.
what I'm talking
For
about.
Nah,
sure.
I mean, G and B Easy's taking 200 M's too. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
might be alone.
Yeah, bro. Like for real though, if this opportunity was presented today, like right now, do you have like a minute to make that decision? What are you doing?
100K
If we do
or 200 million a year.
100, Breeze taking Breeze taking that bag, boy. Breeze
Bro,
said, "I
because
need that bag."
I just 25 years, bro. That's a long that like I would think I'd be cool with it maybe like the first 5 years. After that, I'd be fucking miserable,
Bro,
bro.
being like
I'd be
47,
like
52, and you still
working
just
60 hours a week, bro. Just fuck that. That's
No,
crazy.
no, you're
Hell
not.
no.
No, you're not working 60 hours a week though. When you take the 50K, you're only working like maybe like 20. I'll give you 20 hours a week.
No, I'm saying for the 200 M's, bro.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I think I'd be cool the first 5 years, but after that, bro, I'd be miserable. Like, regardless of how much money I'm making, I'd be fucking miserable just cleaning out fucking porta potties
exactly.
60 hours a week, bro. Like, fuck that.
Hey,
hey, look at what G said.
Hey,
Jesus.
shout out to Greg. Shout out to Greg in the building. We went to school for
Hey,
22 years, bro.
Hey, but we was turned up in school though. I was in school living my best life
I can
though.
still be turned up, bro. I can still be
hey,
turned
G said
up.
we didn't want to do that shit either, though.
And
Yeah.
we wasn't in school for 60 hours a week though. We wasn't in school for 60
Oh
hours a week.
my
I'm
God,
just saying, like the average American,
that's
bro. We look
funny
at
as
it. Most
hell.
people work like 50 hours. Most people work like 50 hours a week, bro. It's common. It's not that hard, right? Because our job, we work like 40 hours a week, and then people be doing our job like from there, like 18 years old to like 65 and retire, like 45, 60 hours a week. And those people don't never even break like 200K ever. So me doing 60 hours a week, making 200K a year, like, bro, I'm gonna go in there, like, I'm gonna buy everybody lunch. I'm bringing everybody lunch today. Lunch on me today every day for the next 50 years. Wherever you want to eat, pick a spot. Nah,
To me, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm
That's too big of a sacrifice, bro.
I,
That's too big
I,
of a sacrifice
I'm
for me.
taking I'm for 25 years, bro. Like, nah, bro. I'm sorry. I'm taking the 100K a year, and I'm living my best life. I'm good at that point. Like, I'm straight. Like,
well, if,
granted, I can't be taking care of
okay,
everybody.
even with the 100K, but with inflation, all that in the next 20 years, 100K will probably be around like maybe worth like by way of inflation. If you do inflation, 100K next 20 years, it'll probably be like 70K.
I'm
You
going
know,
to Rwanda, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, come to remote escapes if y'all want to buy
Come
some
to
land.
remote escape, baby.
he
Hey,
I'm
said,
gonna be
I don't
making
know what you're
100K.
talking about.
And I'm gonna be in
hey,
Brazil, bro. I'm gonna be in Brazil, living my best
I
life.
don't know
What
let
you
what
me
you're
mean?
just
talking about,
please,
bro.
please don't call me. Though. I just want to make it clear. Y'all don't. If y'all if y'all take that option, y'all not my friends no more. Block.
Block. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like your people would hate you though if they knew that you took it. Your family would hate, but that's them hating you for them though. Like they
Right.
like, you know what I
That's
mean?
why.
They would hate you
Yeah.
because it's like, bro, you could have helped us. Like, you
That's
know what I'm saying? That's true, and
yeah.
you said that's.
Hey,
So
that's me, bro.
I
Hey,
do get it.
I'm taking one for the team, bro. Like, yeah, even like, yeah, I'm taking one for the team for real. Like, I'm gonna go in there like every day. I'm gonna be happy, bro. I'm gonna be singing, going to work. I'll be like, why is he so happy cleaning the toilet, bro? I will be singing, dancing in there, like, I'm, the next.
You like I said, you might be doing that for the next 5 years, but then you got to do that shit for another 20 years after that, bro. No, bro.
Bro,
You at some point you're gonna be fucking miserable, and you're gonna
hey,
be like,
hey,
why the fuck am I still cleaning these toilets? And I have like fucking $1 billion in my bank account. Why the fuck am I still? Because you have to.
but
Like
think
Because you
about it though,
signed your
G.
life.
under
You
your
signed
fingernail
25 years of your
under your
life away.
fingernails
Think about it,
still
right?
smell like that. You can't get that smell out under your
Hey,
fingernails and shit, bro.
bro, I'm gonna wear
Yeah,
gloves.
that.
Don't worry about it. I'm making 200K a year,
Hey,
200K
the
a year.
gloves are
I'll be
going to
good.
break.
I'll be
The
good.
gloves will break at least once a week working
I,
60 hours, bro.
it's cool. I'll be good. But think about it though, right? We graduated college in 2013. How long has we been working for? Like 11 years. That's almost half. Like we've been working like in corporate for like almost like 11 years, right?
That seemed
If
like a
I'm doing the
long
math,
time too, right?
right?
And
11
and
years.
and hate the
No, I'm
shit
not.
though.
I'm not done though. We're still there. We haven't left corporate yet. So why not do that for like the next 20 years again? And then I'm done with like five belt.
Because us from like 21 to now is a lot different from like now to 60, bro. That's like you're sacrificing a lot of your good
I sacrificed
years
a lot of
left.
my good years already in college. That was my prime. I already sacrificed my pride, bro. I
You
don't
see,
mind.
that's what I'm talking about, bees. That's what I'm talking about. Like that shit is 100K a year is good money, bro. Like that's good money, especially for doing what I like. If you're just saying I could just like fuck around and make beats and
Yeah,
fucking like chill and
50K.
DJ for the rest of for no, bro, 100K. Stop playing.
Oh, give us
Stop
a hundred
playing,
case, bro.
Yeah, even
bro.
I'm not. Yeah.
Nobody can live off of 50K, bro. That's
Oh,
not like when we're talking about like realistically, like you talk about inflation and shit. No, bro.
by the
Like
way, I just
I live in New
all right.
York,
I
bro.
don't do
I
that,
live in
Diamond.
New
Don't even
York.
do it, but don't do that.
Wait.
Don't do that. I already know where you're going. Don't do that. We're gonna give us a 2% raise every year. Don't do that. Don't do. I
But
already knew
wait,
it. Don't do that.
but wait.
Don't do
But
that.
think about it,
No,
right?
no, 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 no,
Oh,
That's
Diamond, no.
crazy.
in 25 years with inflation, 100K the new 25. Like it's fact, bro. 100K will be the next
But
25K a year.
like I said, bro, I would have properties in Spain,
What?
in Rwanda. You could move different. You can move different. I would
Yeah,
move different. You don't have to live in New York for the next
nah.
25 years. You could move somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? There's other ways to play that is what I'm saying.
I'm
You
gonna
know what I'm
be in
saying?
I'm gonna be in Brazil, bro, where 100K is 500K there. So I'm getting 500K a year pretty much.
I hope
Oh
you make
man.
one bad. I hope you make one bad investment and lose like
Listen, I hope you make one bad investment. That's
one bad
crazy.
investment a year, bro. You lose like 50K, so that way you have 50K a year. That's all I'm saying.
But what we know now, man, like hey, G said we moving to Kansas.
Yes.
We're not in Kansas anymore, my brother. I'll be in Ethiopia. I have some Ethiopians. Come on, man. I had a
You see what
little Liberian guy.
I'm saying?
I'd be renting
Yeah,
your shit out of. You know what I'm saying? Come on,
yeah,
man. For
but yeah,
50K. Did you say you built that shit in Liberia for 50K, bro?
yeah, 50K, bro.
Yeah, bro. I had me a little spot right next to
Exactly.
you. You hate it
Exactly.
too, cause I'd be chilling there. You know what I mean?
Nah, I'm gonna tell him not to allow you to, because I'm gonna make way more. Like
You
nah,
probably could with that much money. You probably could make it rough
yeah,
for us. I'm not gonna
yeah, nah. I'll make it rough for you guys for
lie.
real. I'll make y'all life
That's
miserable.
some hater shit, man.
Bro, we had all the opportunity to live the life together. We could have been a team, and you gotta chose this path.
Yeah, you damn right. You damn right.
You're
No,
right,
I
bro.
mean
Living my best life.
it's hard though. But for me, man, just I think just for me, I'll make the sacrifice just the people I love and care about. Yeah,
I'm choosing happiness, bro. I'm
and
sorry.
I
I'm
think
choosing happiness.
I can find happiness in cleaning the toilet once I'm making 200K a year, 200 mil a year for 25 years.
For 25 years, bro. 60 hours a week, bro. That's
Cool,
crazy.
bro.
That's crazy.
I've been in corporate for like 12 years already,
You're not
and still don't have 200
even
mil.
halfway. You're not even
And you're
halfway.
not even halfway.
But that's why I'm
And you
saying.
already, and aren't you, don't you hate corporate? You hate
But not
corporate,
that
right? Right?
bad though, because if I
Right?
did, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I'm cool. I'm just saying like it's not like the end of the world. It's not that bad. It's not terrible. They're not like whipping my ass. I work every day. It's not like I'm going to plantation. I'm getting beat up every day. So that's the same way. I'm like, you know what? Shit, I'm just gonna make this sacrifice the next 25 years, and then I'm just gonna like when I get out, when I'm done, my entire family, like entire generation, are set, bro. There are people going to
Yeah,
jail
you
for like
right.
25 years, and they're coming out with nothing. You know, people going to jail for 50 years, coming out with nothing, right? And they're done. But like with 25 years, I can do anything after that. 20, like nah, yeah,
But like I said, you can't enjoy it like at 60 years old, bro. Like
yeah.
you can't.
Greg is a fool.
Greg is back.
Breaking down the math.
Hey, hey,
That boy got the
shout,
calculations
hey,
moving. He
shout out
like
to Greg. Shout out to Greg in here, because I can't. I'm not doing the
Greg
math
said
like
for
I him.
60 minutes, 200 minutes, nigga, I'm insane.
Hey, shout out to Greg.
Right? That boy, five
Hey,
twelves.
hey, Greg.
Come on,
Five
four,
twelves
four,
is crazy.
four
Five twelves is
15s.
crazy.
4 15s is even
Hey,
wild.
I got I got four 15s. 15s, I got four 15s.
That's fucking
Greg, you hire.
stupid.
I'm gonna hire Greg. I'm a financial advisor, bro. I'm giving you 1 mil a
Greg
year.
is
You hire Greg. I'm giving you 1 mil a year as my financial advisor. Actually, 2 mil, bro. Actually, 2 mil. You do all the math right. Yeah, 2 mil a year as my financial advisor. I'm making 198 a year. I'm paying Greg 2 mil.
oh my god.
He's doing my.
4 15s is insane.
It's it's true though. It's not that bad,
Oh
bro. Because
my god.
I know people nowadays who work
Oh
12
my
hours, bro. Like
god.
people at work, they're like, I've been working like 60 hours a week for like the past 8, 10 years. So it's not as bad. That's the thing
But
about it.
those people are miserable, bro. Those people
Bro.
are miserable. You know it. You know it.
But 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 think about it. For me, I'm not going to be right because at the end of the day, it's like I know what I'm getting out of it, right?
Bro,
I'm not.
at some point, anything over 200 million, you don't need any more money. So every year after the next 24 years, you're like, why the fuck am I still cleaning these fucking porta potties and I got all this money?
It's
You're
Might
gonna
not
crazy.
even
ask
be
yourself
that
that
long, bro.
question.
Like,
You're gonna
yeah.
ask yourself that question. You're gonna be like, why the fuck do I have all this money and still clean these fucking porta potties and I gotta do this shit for another 23 years?
And do you know the
You're
answer?
gonna ask yourself that question at some point.
And do you know the answer to that question will be? The answer to that question will be because I'm getting paid 200 mil a year to do this. That's the answer.
bro.
Hey, I'm
Hey,
telling you.
yeah.
Look,
I
How am I
can't
supposed to
look,
be
work,
sad,
agree,
work,
bro.
bro?
I
work,
can't agree,
work
bro.
for.
I can't.
How am I supposed to be miserable and sad with 200 mil? Like how? If I don't have any health issues, right? Like how? I don't see that. Like how?
Hey,
Like I don't like I
hey,
don't, if my health was
Hey,
jeopardized, yeah,
everybody's
because
with you. Everybody's with you, DG. Everybody in here is with you, man.
everybody with you.
I,
and you guys,
Everybody
you
with
know,
you, man.
I love you guys, bro. Y'all can join too. Come on the other side. Like, come on.
nah,
No,
bro.
nah, bro. You know what side we on.
And that might be, that might be part of my problem with certain things. Is like there's certain things I just can't fold on. I figure out another way to make it work,
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, for that I can't do it, bro. Boy might get peacock.
That boy got pink eye 72 times this year. He
hey,
said I only got pink eye 72 times this year, y'all. I'm
but
good.
think
Hey
about it though.
man, but that money or that, yeah.
Yeah. Think about people get pink eye for free, and I'm getting 200. That's the thing though,
Oh my
bro. I'm
god,
gonna have that one eye patch. You know, like the Pirates of the
that
Caribbean, one of those.
boy gonna be slick Rick in this bitch.
My own bread, bro. I'm gonna be fly cleaning the toilet, bro. I'm gonna be looking like why is he like looking fly every day? I'm about to
That
oh,
boy got glass eye. That
he said buy a new
that's
eye,
insane.
bro. Buy a new eye.
This
That's
was
what
That boy
bro. We should we
that
should have
that boy
had
got a cyborg eye.
we should have had everybody on this episode. This is fucking hilarious,
no,
bro.
that's the
Y'all
next
are
one.
stupid as hell, bro.
Buy a new eye. Get new eye,
Oh
bro.
my god, bro. I
Bro,
hate
yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey, my eye collection is gonna be dope. I'm gonna have every like. It's gonna be. I'm just gonna be buying random things I don't even need, bro. Like think about the idea. What do you think? Oh, I can get it. Like, give me that. Let's buy that. My eyes collection is
get
gonna
him.
be crazy.
Get him, breed.
Oh
These
my
these some wild boy.
hey,
That's some wild shit,
hey,
man.
hey! Shout out to
oh.
Greg, though. Greg's like the accounting over here, just doing my number. Sir, if you invest 5% in here, we can yield 100,000. We we
What do you
good.
need to invest
You don't need
for, bro? You are making
yeah.
$200 million a year, bro. What do you need to
Nah,
invest for?
No, don't talk to
What
me
do you
about
need
my
to
money.
invest for?
Don't talk to me
you
What
would
about my
never have to
money.
you are
look at.
getting 200 you are getting $200 million a year for the next 25 years. What do you need to invest for?
That's why bro. Think about the impact I can make in the world. Bro. I can just donate every year 2 mil to a charity that I care about. Like
Yeah.
I'm like I don't know. I think this one's bigger. It's way bigger than me. You know, it's like bigger than me right now. I'm making that sacrifice for the entire. Like I'm taking one for the team.
You could literally change the world. You are right.
That
You could
that's
literally
what
change the
that's
world.
for me. That's kind of what I'm
Yeah.
doing. Like and get paid too. I'm changing my word and getting paid with a big paid, bro. No, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, see we
You know, man.
we play. I'm so paid by Akon. Jeez.
Ain't no PTO though.
And no PTO. No
Ain't no
PTO.
ain't,
Ain't no PTO. Your ass
you
can't
need
enjoy no trips,
See,
no none of that shit. Fuck that.
to put
No
in your
PTO. You don't get none of
five
that shit.
twelves. You put
yo,
in your
You
five
better put in
twelves
your
every
5/12s
week.
and you get 2 days off. You get 2 days off. That's it. You don't get no PTO.
you know
You gotta
why?
work holidays. Fuck you.
I was thinking.
Oh my
Nah,
god.
no PTO. No, that's funny.
No
That's
PTO,
hilarious.
bro.
That's
You don't get
That's
no PTO.
that's
nah,
the fucking same, bro.
nah. Shout out to Greg, my accountant in here, do all the math and numbers for me. He's like, that's
I
five
mean,
bill.
I get it. Yeah.
All I'm saying is not all money is good money, man. I'm telling you,
Bro, I'm making
that would drive me. No PTO,
I'm making a
60
video.
hours a week for the next 25 years of your life. That's crazy.
We not talking about PTO. That now you want to add something new in there. Now you want to switch it up again. Now you want to switch it up again. Now you,
Oh, bro. Y'all are dumb as hell, bro. No, you're dumb as hell, G. You're dumb as hell, bro.
nah, shout out to Greg. Though. I was cracking up, man. This dude was over there doing the math. Like, all right,
Come
okay,
on,
that's
man.
five bill. That's
He had
five
every
bill.
calculation broken down. That boy knows exactly how that 200 M's would be spent. That's
Five bill.
crazy.
Just going in, just going in the toilet. I'm down. Like, yeah, sign me up. Bill Gates. Jeff Bezos. If you ever watch this video, like, let me know if you need your apartment, whatever, house clean. I'm down for that. Sign me up. fly out to you right
Maybe
now.
if it was like 10 years, I'd consider it. But 25, nah.
25
Okay.
is a long
I
time,
can't do it.
bro.
I can't do it, Bear. I can't do it,
Bro,
bro. I
bro,
can't do it.
people stay in marriage for like 50 years.
Well, I would hope they're happy.
I
I would
wouldn't do
hope
that.
they're happy. I would hope you're happy after
If
50
I wouldn't
years.
have, I wouldn't do that either, brother. This, you know what I'm saying? Oh
If
man,
you're
Hey,
not happy, if you're not happy for 50 years, you really
man.
fucked up.
Right. Nah, but this was a good one.
this is the funniest one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
This
childish,
was
but
hilarious. This
you
was childish.
I think we gotta
man,
do more ultimatum like scenarios, kind of like situation going forward. Would you rather
that's
have
a
this or
fact.
that?
This is
That's a fact.
that, man. This is that.
This or that. For y'all might have started something, man, because
Yeah.
we don't have Debo and Day Day. Y'all
Would you
extra 200
rather
them
be
secure.
Debo or Data? Would you rather be?
Man,
Oh
well,
man.
that's a wrap for today, man. Hey, shout out to G, Bree, Be
Man,
Easy,
yeah. Be
man.
easy,
Everybody who
man.
tapped in today, man. That was funny, man.
That was
Y'all are
hilarious.
childish.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Y'all are
Shout out.
Shout out to Dorber. I see Dorber in here. I didn't even see he tapped in. What's good, Dorber?
Oh, Dorber's in here. Shout out to
Um,
Dorber. Shout out
yeah,
everybody,
Dorber's
man.
in here, man. Shout out to everybody who tapped in, man. Yeah, we definitely doing the this or that because
Yeah.
that shit was hilarious.
Yeah. Great.
childish.
That
Had
shit
me dying,
was
bro.
hilarious.
Craig and Be
Great, man.
Easy, bro. Hold on, let me go
Yeah.
back to Be Easy. What he said, I gotta be like, boy,
He said I smoked
I
my
was
cousin for 200 M.
that, that cracked me up, bro.
Nah,
Hey,
that's
he's in a month.
insane.
He's like, don't worry about it. The GoFundMe is on me. I got this. Don't
Come
worry
on, yeah.
about it.
Hey, whole family good. They ain't even, you know what I'm saying? They not even really tripping that bad. Like, you know what I'm saying?
that
He said the funeral gonna be lit though. I'm gonna make sure the funeral crazy.
that cracked me up. He smoked my cousin for 200 mil. Shit, I'm with you, man.
Well, shit. Once again, we appreciate everybody who tapped in, man. You know, we here every Monday, just tapping it. This was episode 40. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Episode 40 weeks straight. We was talking about that. You know, we 12 weeks away from a year straight of this thing, man. So, you know, it's just consistency. And you know, we're gonna be back here next Monday. And shout out to Ben. I see Ben up
Okay.
in here.
Yeah, show the
Shout
band.
out to Ben.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be back next Monday. You know, we'll have another this or that scenario for y'all. You know, hopefully we can enjoy, laugh a little bit. But man,
Yeah.
great episode. Shout out to
Man.
everybody, man. Have a great week. Have a productive week, and we'll see y'all next
And
Monday.
one last thing, Greg, please show up.
But wait.
I knew you was gonna do that, man. Hey, I'm in Denver. I'm in Denver next week, so I got to connect with all my people out there too, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Let's connect,
and
bro. We out
and
here.
I'm in Denver. I'm in Denver on the 14th. So
Yeah,
you know,
let's all do something when you guys are here. I'm coming up to like TT event. You know, Ramond. We're gonna get
yeah,
our tickets and all that too. So yeah, let's link up. Let's do something by the boys.
My
Yeah.
yeah.
dog, appreciate it, family.
All
So
right.
we doing it.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Peace out.